Hey, Julian. How's it going? You get off work yet?
Yeah, the boss had us doing crazy overtime this work. But I just got out. On my way home as we speak.
Great! Glad to hear it, honey. No kidding, he's been working you guys to the bone lately. You gonna eat out somewhere before you get home?
I didn't eat yet. I'm trying not to spend much on eating out, so I'm gonna rustle myself something up when I get back.
Oh, really? What will you make?
I'm thinking of doing a spicy chicken stir-fry. I've had this crazy urge to eat spicy stuff lately, and Lord knows I could do with more vegetables in my life. Plus a side of instant soup. I've been bulk buying these multi-packs lately. Oh, they taste so good for how cheap they are.
Wow, get you! Since when did you cook healthy meals for yourself? Color me astonished. I was certain you'd just pick up a ready meal or grab a burger at a drive-thru somewhere on the way home.
Well, I am away living all on my lonesome for my work transfer. Health is numero uno. If I don't look after myself while I'm out here, no one else will. Don't get me wrong, I won't be getting a job at any 5-star restaurants anytime soon, but I have been cooking simple meals for myself.
It seems like you're really living conscientiously and trying to look after yourself. I'm pleased to hear it, sweetie. I never thought I'd live to see the day. Sounds like you don't need me anymore.
Don't even joke about things like that. Whether I cook or not, I'm still out here in Philly all on my own, away from my family. It can get pretty lonely sometimes.
Sorry, babe, I was just kidding. Ah, that reminds me. I messaged you because there was something I wanted to ask you.
What is it?
It's summer break soon. You will be coming back, right? Shall we go somewhere as a family? I'd love for us all to just forget the world and go on vacation somewhere together. It's been so long. But if we do, we'll need to book everything, so it's best we decide in advance.
I'm sorry, Kylie. I've actually been meaning to message you about this. I can't make it back for summer break anymore.
Huh? Why not?
There have been a bunch of reforms at work that mean we have to go in for a few small shifts each week over summer break now. I do still have some paid vacation left, but they wouldn't stretch far enough to cover a holiday. The shifts seem pointless, honestly. 2 hours here, 4 hours there. But the company has been struggling lately and they're trying to up output in whatever way they can. The summer break's not looking good.
Oh, I see. I didn't know about these new shifts, but I would have at least hoped you could book them off.
I actually spoke with the boss about this earlier today. I practically begged him to give me enough time off to fit in a holiday with you guys, but he said his hands are tied. I see, that's such a shame.
But there'll always be other opportunities. We'll just have to go on an extra luxurious, extra extravagant holiday next time.
That's the spirit. I'm sorry though, babe. I was really looking forward to going away somewhere together, just the three of us. Next time I get a big chunk of time off, I'll take you both somewhere nice, I promise.
Thanks. It's fine though, Julian. Really. Don't worry about it. Work is work and it can't be helped.
That may be so, but I can't deny the whole thing has left me feeling a little dispirited. I was dead set on coming back. I have no idea how gobsmacked I was when they announced these new shift patterns. I couldn't wait to see you and Ayla again.
I know, honey. Isla will probably be broken up about it too. She'd have been over the moon to have her daddy back for the summer.
Ugh, I know, it sucks. Not only that, but I promised I'll be back last time we video called. Why she thinks I'm a liar?
She'll be sad and disappointed, but I'm sure she'll come around when I explain why. She's a clever girl for her age. Don't worry, sweetie. Leave Ayla to me.
Okay, thanks baby, you're the best.
No way. You're the one who flew out there all on your own for the huge work opportunity to give me and your daughter a better life. No one blames you, sweetie, so don't be too hard on yourself, okay? It's really not a big deal. We'll get plenty of other opportunities to go away together when your transfer ends.
Yeah, you're right.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. Carla, one of the moms from kindergarten, is calling me. Gotta go. Speak again soon, babe. Night-night. Hey, Julian, you okay? You're off work now, right?
Nope, I'm still stuck at the damn office. That jackass Denzel has been having me do extra overtime lately. What even is this? Overtime on my overtime? Over overtime?
Wow, at this time? I'm really sorry to hear that, honey. Just think of all the extra money you're making and don't forget to breathe. I'll message you later. Hope they let you go soon.
It's cool. I'm waiting for a new order to be finalized, so I have time right now. What's up? Did you want to talk about something?
Oh, you do? Okay, well, it's about summer break. I was thinking it might be nice to take Isla away somewhere nice. Just me and her? Would you mind if we went just the two of us?
Would I mind? Not at all. That's a great idea. Be my guest. And where'd you have in mind?
I've been thinking about a few places, but I haven't decided yet. I wanted to get the go-ahead from you first.
I see. Aha! Light bulb moment. Why don't you both come down to Philly and we can all go somewhere together? I should be able to get a few days off, so how about we all go sightseeing as a family? I'll be so happy to see you both again.
We want to see you too, sweetie, but is that really a good idea? There's like nothing in the part of Philly you're staying in. Isla would be bored out of her skull, and you know what a handful she can be once the sulking begins.
Oh, I guess you'd have a point.
I'm sorry, babe. I hope you're not upset. I'm sure we'll come and see you at some point. It's just that there's this theme park Isla's been begging me to take her to for months now, and I don't think she'd ever forgive me if we went on any kind of holiday that didn't involve going there.
It's fine, I understand. Sorry for putting you in an awkward position.
Don't be silly. You have nothing to apologize for. I'm sorry we couldn't come.
Oh man, I really wanted to come with you guys.
I know, honey. I know.
Oh yeah, how did Ayla take the news of me not coming home for spring break? She didn't get mad or anything, did she?
She was fine. I told you, she's a clever girl. She understood it couldn't be helped when I explained it was due to work stuff. And she knows the reason you're not around right now is to provide the two of us with a better life.
I see. Well, in that case, I'm pleased.
Don't get me wrong. We're both missing you like crazy.
I guess no one could blame me for that. Seriously though, I'm missing you both too.
I know, honey. But we have to remember your work arrangement is only temporary. And Isla's so excited about this theme park trip that it'll probably help her forget how sad she is about her daddy not being around, even if just for a little while. I think this is just what she needs. Good luck with work, sweetie. Hopefully Denzel starts going easier on you from now on.
Gah! I really want to come with you. Should I ask him one more time? Maybe if I say pretty please with a cherry on top. Kerry from sales did come back off sick leave lately, so maybe we have the manpower to fill the gap now?
No, you can't. I mean, you shouldn't do that, sweetie. Surely it'd cost the company all manner of inconvenience if you tried to book a vacation on such short notice. The reason you got that transfer in the first place is because you're such a team player. I know it sucks, but we're just gonna have to accept it.
Fine, I guess work do need me. We'll just carry on going to the office.
Come on, this isn't like you, Julian. What was it you always used to say? It might be stormy now, but it can't rain forever. We'll look back on these days and laugh one day. I just know it. Besides, me and Ayla will send you some souvenirs. I know how much you love your whiskey. I'm sure a generous supply of rocket fuel will help cheer you up. Things might not be ideal, but this doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, you know.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, did you just say whiskey? Hell yeah, now we're talking.
That's the spirit. Me and Ayla will find you some other things, too. We'll put together a bumper bag of surprises. So get excited!
Thanks, babe, that helps. Having that to look forward to will make work a little more tolerable. Since I can't be there, I want you and Ayla to have enough fun for the three of us.
We will, sweetie, I promise. It's getting late, so I have to put her to bed soon. See you later, honey.
Julian, are you still away in Philly on that business trip?
Yeah, I am. Why? It's not a business trip, I'm away on transfer. I'll be here for a while longer, yeah. I wasn't able to make it back for summer break because the company overhauled our shift patterns.
So that's why.
Why what? It's not like you to contact me. What's up, Mom?
I'm messaging you because I have something very important to tell you. You need to leave your wife immediately.
Huh? I need to leave my wife? What the hell are you talking about? You message me for months at a time and then you suddenly show up out the blue demanding I leave Kylie? Did she do something to upset you? Or have you been being mean to her?
Don't be silly. I'd never waste my time with something so fatuous.
And then why would you show up out of nowhere demanding I leave my wife? Did something happen between you and Kylie?
This goes beyond me and Kylie. She left your poor daughter all on her own while she went out to cheat on you. That's why you need to leave her immediately.
Cheat on me? What are you talking about?
Your wife, Kylie, left out poor Ayla all on her own at the house and disappeared off somewhere. From what I can tell, she's away on holiday with some other guy as we speak.
Wait a sec. None of this makes any sense. I don't follow what you're saying. Please would you kindly explain what the hell it is you're talking about?
All right, I will. Listen up and listen well. I paid a surprise visit to your house today. I was on a sightseeing holiday with your Aunt Mildred, and I just happened to be in the neighborhood. I had some souvenirs I wanted to give you all.
The house was empty, right? The two of them went away for summer vacation.
I'm getting to that part. Ayla had been left all on her own at the house. She said her mother had gone out and she didn't know when she'd be back.
She said what?
No one answered when I rang the doorbell, and I was about to give up and go home. I just assumed she'd taken Ayla out somewhere without telling me and didn't think much of it. Just as I started walking back to the car, the old lady from next door came out with Ayla.
The old lady from next door, you mean Edith?
Yes, her name was Edith. Apparently, the two of them rushed outside when Ayla spotted me looking out the window. Then Edith told me what Kylie had told her.
Well, what did she say?
Apparently, she told Edith her mother-in-law had collapsed and she urgently had to get to the hospital. Which is why she asked her if she'd look after Ayla. She said she'd be back within 2 or 3 days. Imagine Edith's surprise when I told her I was Kylie's mother-in-law. Her jaw almost hit the floor.
What the? I didn't even... What the heck is she playing at? So, she lied to the neighbor to get her to look after Ayla and went off somewhere.
That's what it seems like. When I was outside speaking to Edith, a few of the other moms from the neighborhood happened to pass by and stopped speaking to us when they heard Kylie's name mentioned. They told me all sorts of stories about her. Apparently, when you're not around, the neighbors constantly see different guys going in and out of the house. She's become the subject of practically every rumor in the neighborhood.
Are we still talking about my wife, Kylie, here? You've got to be joking me.
Edith's very old, so she spends most of her time holed up indoors and doesn't speak to the rest of the neighbors all that much. She hadn't heard about the rumors. That's why she didn't suspect anything when Kylie asked her to look after Ayla. I can't believe it. That woman has no shame. Do you understand why I told you to leave her now?
Mom, this can't be. There's no way she'd do anything like that. This is absurd. We message each other every day. I've never detected so much of a hint of dishonesty from her.
Maybe this will change your mind. The lady from across the street was so confused by what was going on, she started taking photos of all these guys going in and out of your house. I was struggling to take everything in at the time, but she asked if I wanted them, and I thought it better I have some kind of proof of her misdeeds before telling you about them. I can send them over if you like.
It's okay, I believe you, Mom. Oh, God damn it. So Kylie really is cheating on me.
If she's lying to the neighbor about me collapsing so she can dump Ayla on her and rush off somewhere, at the very least she's doing something she shouldn't be. Anyway, I couldn't let your wife carry on inconveniencing that poor old dear next door for even a second longer. I took Ayla home with me. We're together at my house now.
Thank you so much, Mom. I owe you big time.
You can say that again. Me and your Aunt Mildred had to cancel our holiday because of this. I expect generous recompense. I accept payment in the form of bottles of wine. What are you going to do about Kylie? If there's anything I can help you with, just say the word.
I'm so sorry for all this, Mom. I'll try messaging her. I'll decide what I'm going to do next once I've seen what she has to say for herself. Please carry on looking after Ayla for the time being.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. It's been so long since I saw her, I almost forgot what a little bundle of joy she is. She seems very happy to see me and your dad again. Don't worry about her one bit, okay, dear? I want you to focus on doing what needs to be done.
Kylie, where are you right now?
Huh? I'm on vacation. Why are you asking all of a sudden? Is something wrong?
No, I was just wondering if you're enjoying your vacation is all.
We're having an amazing time, sweetie. It's been so long. Ayla's having so much fun. I've been finding it hard to keep her under control. I know it's a little early, but we were tired and decided to come back to the hotel for the night. We're just chilling and watching movies together with some popcorn now.
I see, sounds cozy. I'd love to see some photos of you both having a good time. Send me a couple of pics, why don't you?
Huh? You want some photos? We've been riding roller coasters and battling out in bumper cars all day, and my makeup's a mess. I don't really feel like taking pictures right now. Sorry, hun. Is tomorrow okay?
Oh, that's fine. I don't mind if you're not in them. Just send me some of Ayla.
Oh, sorry, hun, but Isla's completely exhausted from playing all day. I'll send some tomorrow. Surely you want to see her at her cutest while she's having fun, right?
No, really, I don't mind. She's just as cute to me when she's tired. Go ahead, just one pic is fine.
Sorry, sweetie, it'll have to be tomorrow. I'm super worn out myself. You wouldn't believe how busy we've been today. I was just about to take a nap.
That's fine, you can have your nap after you send me your pic. It'll only take a second. Go on, send the pic. Now.
Ugh, do you ever give up? Just freaking drop it already, Julian. You're normally so kind and understanding when I say I'm not feeling up to something. What's gotten into you today?
It's probably because I'm so kind and understanding that this happened in the first place.
Huh? What do you mean by that? Why are you acting like this all of a sudden? I have no idea what you're talking about. Look, honey, I'm really tired. I'd love to make idle chit-chat with you, but not today. I'll video call you when our vacation's over.
You're tired? That's gotta be the laziest excuse I've ever heard. Admit it! You can send me a pic of Ayla even if you wanted to, could you?
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, it's physically impossible for you to take a picture of Ayla right now. I mean, how could you? You're not with her. Because you left her behind and went on vacation without her.
Huh? You've lost me, honey. I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Forgive me, I'm not being direct enough. You're on a lover's holiday with one of the guys you cheat on me with, aren't you? I know everything.
What the hell? No! Why would you think that? Why are you coming at me with all this nonsense? Did something happen?
I said I know everything. So you can drop the act now. You lied to Edith next door, so she'd look after Ayla. I know you're on vacation with some other guy. Where was it again? A Californian hot spring resort? Stop wasting my time with your pathetic act. You're not fooling anyone.
Huh? How did you know I left Isla with the neighbor?
My mom called by her house today because she happened to be in the area while on vacation. She ran into Edith from next door while she was there, who turned out had been looking after Ayla.
Wait, so you mean your mom told you all this?
That's right.
Phew! I think I understand now. Don't worry, babe. This is all just one huge misunderstanding on your mom's part. It's true. I may have told Edith a little white lie so she'd look after Isla for a little while. But that was only so I could go on holiday with my friend Carla. You know, one of the moms from kindergarten? I'm not cheating on you, baby, I swear.
I said stop wasting my time with this goddamn pathetic act, you lying hoe bag! I heard from all the other moms in the neighborhood about the endless streams of guys that can be seen showing up at the house when I'm not around.
Oh my God, Julian.
Or should I say the other moms in the neighborhood told my mom what you'd been up to when they heard your name mentioned. It seemed to be the subject of more than a few rumors on our street. Apparently virtually all of our neighbors know about the conveyor belt of guys you show up at our house when I'm not there.
No way. Surely you don't believe this. That's preposterous. They're just rumors, honey, I swear.
You can't worm your way out of this one, Kylie. I have photos of several of them going in and out the house. Steve's wife, Emma, from across the street, thought something suspicious might be going on and started taking photos a few months back. Not only that, but I know about the secret peep book account you've been using to keep a log of your depraved exploits. You probably thought you were being so secretive having them come in through the back door. But practically the whole neighborhood knows about your secret. You're the talk of the town.
What? Seriously?
They all know about your secret peep book page too. Apparently they all share your posts with each other while laughing about what a train wreck of a human being you are. Apparently one of them found it by chance a little while back. And wow, the stuff you post on there? It's actually scary how shameless you are. Chilling in a Californian hot spring with our main man.
So that's how you know where I am. Wait, what? The neighbors have been taking photos of the house behind my back and stalking my social media accounts? How dare they? This is an invasion of my privacy.
Yeah, I won't deny it. It's bad taste to take photos of people without their permission. But if she hadn't done that, I would never have gotten hold of all this damning proof of your affair. And please, how can you complain about people looking at your peep book page? Isn't that the whole point of social media? Anyway, the bottom line is I have definitive proof of your affair. I want a divorce.
What? A divorce?
Yes, a divorce. I have no intention of staying married to someone as treacherous and deceitful as you. Why don't you just get remarried to your main man? You know, the guy you were sipping cocktails in the hot spring in the photos with?
No. Let's not be hasty here, Julian. Just wait. He's nothing more than a cheap fling. Divorce is going too far.
The fact that you betrayed your family over a cheap fling makes it even worse. We are so done. If the prospect of divorce is so terrifying to you, perhaps you could have, I don't know, not cheated on me in the first place?
I told you, Julian, I was lonely. Your whole life is nothing but work, and more work. You went away on transfer to Philly and left me all on my own. What else was I supposed to do? I wish you'd try to understand my feelings.
Not a single day went by where I wasn't pained by the loneliness of being so far away from you and Ayla. Not a single day went by where I didn't wish I could just forget work and come home to be with you both. But my family are more important to me than anything in the world, which is why I'd never cheat on you. So no, I don't understand your feelings at all.
But Julian, divorce is going too far. Can we please stop overreacting and talk this through like adults?
You told barefaced lies to trick the neighbor into looking after Ayla, so you could leave her behind while you jetted off to California to stab me in the back. Who in their right mind would stay married to someone capable of that? I could never trust you again. Divorce is the only option, and that's final. You don't have the right to refuse.
I'm sorry. I'll never do anything like this again, I swear. Please, just rethink the divorce, baby. Please, I'm begging you.
No, it's fine, really. Please, carry on to your heart's content. I wouldn't want our pesky daughter getting in the way of you jetting across America with your lovers. So I tell you what, I'll do you a favor and take her off your hands. I'd hate for you to ever get lonely again, so by all means, see as many guys as you like. Look on the bright side. At least you won't have to hide it anymore. After that, I hired a lawyer and filed for divorce as quickly as possible. Kylie did try to fight me over it and was stubbornly defiant in her unwillingness to go through with the divorce. But in the face of the mountains of photo evidence of her misdeeds, she didn't have a leg to stand on, and was ultimately forced to sign the papers through gritted teeth. While I did find the formidable power of the neighborhood mommy network somewhat terrifying, I have nothing but gratitude for them. My ex-wife's extracurricular activities have been common knowledge after she became a regular topic of conversation at their gossip sessions. She was quite literally the talk of the town. I found out later on that Emma from across the street, who had diligently gathered proof of my ex-wife's lover's illicit backdoor entries, had intended to show me the photos when I came home from my work transfer. It turns out the neighborhood moms found her behavior just as despicable as I did. As a result of the evidence, a divorce was finalized without me having to pay a single cent in alimony. I won custody of Ayla, and Kylie was forced to leave the house. After my work transfer ended, I came home, and I'm currently living happily with my mom and Ayla. My mom's been super supportive throughout the whole thing, and I feel lucky to have her. Ayla told me after the divorce that it wasn't the first time her mother had left her with Edith from next door. Until the very last time, my ex cried and wailed, disagreed and protested, and begged and pleaded for me and Ayla not to leave her. But if we were that important to her, she never would have cheated on me in the first place. I find it pretty ironic that as a result of cheating on me to assuage her loneliness, she's now the loneliest she's ever been in her life. As for what the future holds for me and Ayla, one thing's for certain. I'm going to do everything in my power to ensure she grows up surrounded by love, warmth, and affection. She'll never get lonely on my watch. I'm looking forward to making all sorts of amazing memories with her. First up, a luxurious family holiday with me, Ayla, and my mom. I do still have a lot to make up for her having to call off her last one, after all. Oops, that reminds me, I owe her a bottle of wine.
Hello there, Sally. You do have a gift ready for next week's memorial service, don't you? I hope you don't think you can forget about your responsibilities just because it's only going to be family and close friends.
Oh, hi, Debbie. Yep, I am as ready for the service as I could be.
Oh, you are? I hadn't heard from you, so I assumed you must have forgotten all about it. You seem very busy with work. You haven't even been cooking for my son recently.
I've had a lot of overtime over the last few days.
I don't want to hear your excuses. How lucky that I happened to pay him a visit with some of my award-winning winter stew. He would probably have starved if not for me. Do you think it's acceptable to let your husband starve, dear?
He'd only just eaten a few hours ago. I'm not sure there was any danger of him starving. Besides, he's more capable of cooking on his own meals.
Good grief, the things you say are beyond ridiculous sometimes. Cooking and housework are a woman's duty. I'll never acknowledge you as my son's wife until you start doing your job properly. How are you supposed to learn anything when you're cooped up in that godforsaken office all the time? Women's liberation was a mistake.
I'm sorry.
I made this crystal clear to you when you two got married, Sally. That you're to be there to support my son.
Yes, I know that, but we both work long hours. It's more like we support each other.
Didn't I tell you I don't want to hear your excuses? You haven't even produced any children yet, and this is how you speak to me. You couldn't be doing a worse job of fulfilling your duties to my son and this family if you tried. You're already in your 30s for crying out loud. Can't you hear the clock ticking, dear? Tick-tock, tick-tock. It's the sound of your eggs drying up. You do intend on providing me with grandchildren, don't you?
Yeah, of course we want kids, but we can't go blindly rushing into a decision like that. The timing has to be right.
Why do you say it like you're waiting for it to magically happen on its own? You make the timing yourselves. Good grief, this is why you're no good. All it is with you is excuses, excuses, and more excuses.
Right. I'm sorry, Debbie.
You think apologizing gets you off the hook? It's always the same with you. You ignore everything I say and think I'll forget all about it just because you apologize.
It's really not like that. It's just that my job is important to me.
Work? Important to a woman? Now I've heard it all. Oh, why don't you leave the boys' business to the boys and start doing your real job? If you had an ounce of respect for me or this family, you would have had a bun in the oven within a few months of marrying my son. When I was your age, my Darius was already in kindergarten, you know. You need to watch yourself, girl. The clock's always ticking. If you're not careful, the ship will leave the port without you on it, because you're so damn focused on that silly job of yours. Tick-tock, Sally.
Thanks for the heads up, Debbie. I'll bear that in mind.
If only your abilities as a wife were as impressive as your replies. Not that I ever expected much of you to begin with, but this is my son's life we're talking about here, and I will not have it ruined by a second-rate floozy like you.
Hey, Debbie. It was nice to see you at the memorial today. Thanks for all the food. It was really kind of you to make that lasagna, and the meat pie was amazing. You've got some serious cooking skills.
That's because, unlike you, I put a lot of time and effort into excelling in the womanly crafts. Don't get the wrong idea, girl. I did not make any of that food for you. You only got anything because you hung on like an underfed child after the service ended, so I had no choice but to bring it out with you still around. It was only supposed to be for my son and the rest of my family. My real family, that is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea.
Why didn't you go straight home when the service ended? I don't remember inviting you to the buffet.
I was about to leave when your husband called me over. He said I should stay because you were just about to start bringing out the food.
What? My Peter said that. Good grief. Whatever will I do with that man? He knows how deeply I detest you. Are you sure you didn't mishear him?
I really don't think I did.
Are you sure he wasn't just saying it to be polite because there were other people around? Yes, that'll be what it was. You weren't supposed to oblige him, dimwit.
Sorry.
That food was supposed to be for my family. In fact, my family should have been the only ones at the memorial in the first place. I only agreed to let you help me with the preparations because you offered. You weren't supposed to actually turn up to the damn thing. What's it going to take for you to learn your place? I'm losing all hope.
From the way you're talking about me, I get the impression you don't think of me as your own family.
Obviously, dimwit. Are we related? No, we're complete strangers.
I'm sure you do think of me as a stranger, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win your approval and have you acknowledge me as part of this family. I'm serious about Darius, and I want to prove that to you, no matter how long it takes.
You become a part of this family. You couldn't win my approval in 10 lifetimes at the rate you're going, Missy. You'll have to stop with these jokes now, dear. My bowels have been loose lately, and an emergency of that kind is the last thing I need.
Still, I'm gonna do my best.
Like I just told you, it ain't gonna happen. Why bother wasting your energy? You don't have what it takes to win my approval. Rather than that, just focus on doing your job as my son's wife.
You mean, have kids?
What a relief! You do have something resembling a brain in that skull of yours. Yes, giving me grandchildren is the least you could do. If you don't, me and you will be strangers for as long as you live. Naturally, failing to produce children would also mean divorce.
What? Divorce?
Yes, dear, divorce. If you can't do your job as his wife, I'll have him divorce you and marry someone who can. The earlier he gets rid of you, the better. He'll have a wider selection of partners to choose from that way.
But I don't want a divorce.
What you want is of no importance. I'll see to it that my boy has a long, hard think about your future together if you continue to defy me any longer. What good are you if you refuse to produce children? What's the point in being married to a barren wasteland? Men can have kids at any age. As for you, tick-tock, missy. If you won't deliver the goods, I'll have him exchange you for a younger model who will.
Debbie, we're going through infertility treatment.
What did you just say? Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, goodness gracious me. I knew it. You're defective goods.
Me and Darius are doing our best in our own way. Please, would you stop saying things like that? Things are difficult enough as it is without you being cruel on top of it.
Is the defective article talking back to me? Back in the good old days, women like you were handed a set of divorce papers and cast aside like the dead weight they were. There's nothing else for it. I was willing to give you a chance before, but now, it's no good. You have to separate.
Even if the treatment fails and we can't ever have kids, I have no intention of leaving Darius.
What you want is of no importance to me, young lady. If you can't fulfill your duties as his wife, there's no point in you being married. I must tell my husband about this at once.
Debbie, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'd really appreciate if you could try to be a little more understanding of our situation. Can't we compromise somehow? To be honest, I was dreading telling you, but I didn't want you to think we were trying. Please.
Let's see. I need to hear what my son thinks about this. All right, fine. Let's all get together for an honest, frank discussion about your future.
Really?
Yes, I'm prepared to accept I've been a little inconsiderate. But I mean it when I say I want grandkids. And that's never going to change. Darius is my only son, after all. Surely it's only natural I'd have expectations of you.
I get that.
Make no mistake, this only means I'll hear out what you both have to say. Don't mistake my kindness for approval.
That's enough for me. Thank you.
Don't think this means divorce is off the table either. I'm still prepared to do what needs to be done if you give me nothing but excuses. My son has wants and needs of his own. All right, it's settled. Let's all discuss it over dinner the day after tomorrow. There's a restaurant I've been dying to go to lately.
You want to do this in public at a restaurant? Are you sure?
If I have to listen to a depressing sob story about how my son's wife's womb is a barren wasteland, I at least want to enjoy some delicious food to soften the unpleasantness of it all. Surely you'd feel better about the whole thing if you could enjoy some good food while we talked.
I guess. Okay, the day after tomorrow, right? I'll get ready.
Yes, I'll be picking you up in the car. I'll come to your house first, and then we can pick Darius up outside the station after he gets off work. I take it you do plan on leaving the office on time.
Yeah, I've been finishing early every day of this week, so there shouldn't be any problems on that front. Thanks for going to the trouble of picking me up. I appreciate it.
My husband said the car needed washing, so I can stop by at the car wash before I get you. 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll see you the day after tomorrow.
Hey, Debbie, are you there? You told me yesterday we'd all be coming to today's dinner. I've been waiting ages for you to come and get me now. Is everything okay?
Do forgive me, Sally. I decided last minute we should have dinner with just me, Peter, and Darius instead. You know, my family. My real family. I told Peter not to bother stopping by at your house.
What?
You can watch the house on your own instead. The restaurant we're heading to is a little on the expensive side. Such luxury would be wasted on the likes of you. I know I said you could come, but the more I thought about it, the more ridiculous it seemed. Think about it. How can I possibly justify wasting money on food that good on the likes of you?
Was this your plan all along? Were you lying when you said we were gonna discuss our treatment too?
Me? A lie? Scandalous. I've never told a lie in my life. At the time, I was genuinely considering hearing you out, but then I realized the futility of it all. Come on, dear. What could possibly be gained by hearing some defective article give me her sob story on how she can't provide me with grandchildren? Exactly nothing. So, why have you spoiled the atmosphere while we eat? You can stay home.
I'm pretty sure Darius is gonna get up and leave the moment you tell him I'm not coming.
Don't talk nonsense, dear. We already picked him up at the station. He didn't have any complaints when I told him you wouldn't be coming. It would appear he's more receptive towards my remarriage idea than you would have liked to believe.
Huh? No way. That can't be.
Why didn't he object when I told him you weren't coming then? He just nodded his head, and that was the end of it. He's probably just as sick of you as I am. And why wouldn't he be? Do you know how embarrassing it is for a man for his woman to need fertility treatment? You hear stories about it all the time.
Darius thinks of me more than anyone.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Sally. He clearly doesn't anymore. Guess what? I already found several candidates for his replacement wife. He seemed opposed to the idea at first, but he soon changed his tune when I showed him the pictures of his new potential brides. Looks like you're getting tossed to the wayside, Missy.
No way. My husband would never abandon me.
What value does a woman in her 30s have to anyone? What's more, you're damaged goods. You can't even have kids. Stop burying your head in the sand and face reality. Don't think anyone in this family actually likes you just because my son and husband pretended to be nice to you all this time.
You really hate my guts, huh, Debbie?
Obviously, dimwit. You don't have a single redeeming quality. Your face is mediocre, your personality's rotten, you're unfeminine, you couldn't be any plainer if you tried. You're just some sad, futureless, worn-out old hag. You let my son do the housework while slaving away at that damn company you're so obsessed with. And to top it all off, you're incapable of having children. You don't deserve to call yourself a woman. What value is there in you even being alive?
I can't take this anymore. You've made it crystal clear about how you feel about me.
I'm pleased we have an understanding. I suggest you get started on packing up your things sooner rather than later. I'll be in touch when we decide on a replacement wife for my son.
Do as you please.
Don't worry, dear, I shall. It's such a shame to have to tell you this, but your happily married life is hereby over. Hurry up and tell Mommy and Daddy you'll be coming home. Me and my family are breaking all ties with you. Sally, dear, it turns out we were able to reach a conclusion on your future while we were still in the car. Even I didn't expect things to move along this quickly. Both Darius and Peter told me I can do whatever I want.
I see. And you felt the need to go out of your way to tell me that?
Who do you think you're speaking to, young lady? Start showing some manners. I'm still your mother-in-law for the time being.
I don't have any obligation to be nice to you, Debbie.
Whatever, I could care less. If impotently seething like this makes you feel better, who am I to stop you? You'll be nothing but a distant memory before long. This luxury dinner for just the three of us is going to be amazing.
You wouldn't happen to be on your own right now, would you, Debbie?
Well, yes, I am. Why? The restaurant doesn't have a car park, so Peter dropped me off outside while him and Darius go off and look for a space. They'll be back anytime now.
Have you been waiting for a while already?
It's only been 15 minutes. The roads are busy around this part of town at this hour. Don't worry, they'll be back any minute now. Anyway, what does any of this have to do with you? You're the only one on your own here.
Oh, I'm not on my own. Your husband and son are here with me right now.
What? They're with you, but why would they? What are you talking about? This doesn't make any sense.
I got a message from Darius, inviting me out for a meal, just after your last message earlier. Let's go out for a meal as a family, babe. Just me, you, and my dad. I'm in the car with them both right now. We're on our way to another restaurant.
Excuse me? No way. No way! You're obviously lying because you're bitter about being abandoned. They just dropped me off outside the restaurant. Why would they possibly ditch me to eat with the likes of you? There really isn't a car park here. It's not like my husband was lying. They just went to find a parking space.
Don't worry. They found a parking space because they drove straight home. They told me all about how you wouldn't shut up about Darius divorcing me and remarrying a more suitable candidate, or making fun of me because of the infertility treatment. Well, Darius's patience finally reached its limit. He's so sick and tired of you, he never wants to see you again for the rest of his life. Your son just disowned you, Debbie.
No way. My darling boy would never do that. Besides, he never said anything in the car. If his patience had really reached its limits, as you claim, he would have spoken out.
Oh, he knows you're so arrogant and so self-absorbed that speaking to you is pointless. He's done with you. He said you may as well forget about him because he's not your son anymore.
Oh, no, you don't, young lady. Stop right there. I can see what you're doing. You're trying to scare me because I wouldn't tolerate the fact that you had the nerve to be infertile. Aren't you? Well, it won't work. As if my own family would ditch me outside a restaurant and leave me to eat on my own.
I can assure you most definitely will be eating on our own.
They have been gone a while. Wait, are you serious? Did they actually abandon me? That's so horrible. How could they do this?
Isn't it obvious? You treated me like I wasn't even human. Did you really think my husband was gonna tolerate you speaking about his wife like that? You had no right to treat me the way you did, and now you're paying the price.
Sally, where are you right now, sweetie? Won't the three of you at least come back to get me? It's getting cold out here.
Sorry, we're going out for a family dinner, which means you're not invited. You'll have to make your own way home.
Oh my god. Don't say things like that. Please, will you tell my son to get his dad to answer the phone? I must have tried calling him 10 times by now. Darius won't pick up either. Are their phones broken?
Nope. Their phones are fine. They just don't want to speak to you.
Fine, you win. Have it your way. I'll hear out what you have to say. Let's all sit down and have a chat like we originally intended. Just me, you, and Darius. That's what you wanted, isn't it? Please, just come back and get me. I don't know the bus routes around here.
No. You can take your chat and stick it where the sun doesn't shine. I couldn't care less whether I get your approval anymore. In fact, I'd prefer if you kept it to yourself, along with your hateful, malicious comments and outdated opinions.
You don't want my approval. Do you really think we could go on like this, Sally? Get real. You're my son's wife.
I did my best to try and compromise with you, to try and prove how hard I wanted to win your acceptance as a member of this family. I couldn't do anything about the fact I worked long hours and I wasn't willing to quit my job. But beyond that, I did everything I could. I kept on top of the housework on my own to the best of my ability. And even while I was working, I went out of my way to make sure Darius had quality, home-cooked food on the table whenever he got back from work. I went out of my way to make it to family events and gatherings, even booking time off work despite my schedule being hectic. But eventually, I realized no matter how hard I worked, I'd never win your approval. And I've kept pushing myself past my limits. Like that, I only end up in an early grave.
That's simply not true. I was willing to accept you, dear. I really was. But you had to prove your dedication to my son and this family by giving us children first.
You see, Debbie, the problem with that is, I think your outdated way of thinking is disgusting. There was a time when I hoped we could get to know each other and build something resembling a positive relationship one day. But I realized that going out of my way to try and win the approval of someone as toxic as you could never end well. You're the vilest, most black-hearted person I've ever met.
Vile and black-hearted? And what does calling me such awful things make you? Take a look in the mirror, bitch. This is no way to speak to your mother-in-law. You disrespectful little cretin.
I don't think of you as my mother-in-law. My only in-law is Peter, because unlike you, he's actually a decent human being.
Sally, please, I forgot to bring my purse. I'm already sat down in the restaurant. I had to come inside because it was getting so darn cold outside. I ordered some drinks and I'm feeling a little tipsy. I can't pay the bill without my purse.
Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie. You seem to be making a tragic misunderstanding. You seem to think that's my problem when it's not.
Oh, come on, don't be like that. Just because me and you might not be on the best of terms doesn't mean you have to let me get in trouble. What am I supposed to do? Do you have any idea how embarrassing this is going to be for me? It's bad enough already after no one showed up despite me telling the waiter there'd be 3 of us.
Not my problem. Me and you are strangers, and what you do or what happens to you when the restaurant finds out you're stealing their alcohol has nothing to do with me.
Sally, please, listen to me. I'm sorry. Look, I just apologized, so please, I'm begging you. Won't you all come back and get me? Let's have dinner together.
Nope. We'll be eating as a family tonight, which means you're not invited. You're the one who tried to kick me out of your lives, remember? You're on your own now. Fix your own mess. Good luck finding a new family, 'cause this one's done with you. After that, me, Darius, and Peter all went to a fancy restaurant downtown together, where we had the most amazing steaks. No one had any desire to rescue Debbie from the mess she'd gotten herself into. In fact, we all find it kind of amusing. But since all she ordered was a few drinks, they gave her the benefit of the doubt and agreed to let her go home and come back with the money. She went back and paid the next day, and that was the end of that. However, she didn't have the money for a bus or a taxi. She had to walk back the whole 5 miles to her house at night in the middle of winter. Now that's what I call karma. Debbie was furious at her husband for not going out to pick her up. But when she started telling him off, he suddenly lost it with her and yelled at her so loud it said the screams of rage could be heard all the way from Jupiter. I guess we all have our limits. She soon zipped it when she realized Peter had reached his. He swore he'd divorce her if she tried to pull any of her old crap on him again, and something tells me he knew he meant it. I think we'll be seeing a much quieter, more reserved Debbie from here on out. After she started behaving herself, we decided to tell her the real reason we were going through infertility treatment was in fact because of Darius, not me. Mouth agape, all the color drained from her face before. She immediately got down on her knees and apologized profusely. But there are some things you don't forgive or forget. I'll definitely never forget what she put me through. That said, she did seem genuinely remorseful. She is still Darius's mother, so we agreed not to completely break things off with her. We haven't decided how often we'll see her yet, but we're thinking maybe once a year. 3 months after the events of today's drama, and after finally placing some distance between ourselves and the mother-in-law from hell, I finally fell pregnant. Darius and Peter were over the moon, and we held a family gathering at our place, just the 3 of us. Obviously, Debbie wasn't invited. There was a tiny part of me that felt sorry for her. But when I reminded myself why we were keeping our distance in her in the first place, and considered the strong likelihood of her sticking her nose in dew, how we bring up the baby if we allowed her to worm her back way into our lives, that sympathy soon disappeared. She might be on her best behavior right now, but that still doesn't mean I trust her. I'm not risking through anything like that again, which is why me and my husband plan on maintaining a healthy distance from her going forward. I have nothing but love and gratitude for Darius and Peter for being there to support me throughout this whole thing. And I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure they always know how much I appreciate them. Let's all spread the love, folks. Hey, Faith, will you be coming to my wedding? You're my husband's sister, so I was kinda wondering. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I can't wait. I'm so happy for you guys. Seriously? I'm sorry. What's that supposed to mean? Don't you want me to come? Well, think about it. You'd probably only steal the limelight. I bet everyone would be fawning over you instead of me. This is supposed to be my big day. How is it fair that my sister-in-law gets all the attention? I really don't think there's any danger of that happening. I'd just be a guest. Oh, there so is a danger of that happening, Faith. You know how my family are with you. You're their golden girl. The woman who can do no wrong. I just know you'd ruin my wedding if you came. It's not just my mom and dad either. Practically, the whole family seem to think the sun shines out of your backside. I seriously doubt that. But even if what you're saying is true, it's probably just because there aren't any young girls on your family's side. It's like the sparkle appears in the eyes and they rush over the moment they see you. It's like they think you're the freaking second coming of Christ or something. Jeez, Harper, you really think so? I don't see it that way at all. You wouldn't be saying that if you knew what some of the conversations are like. A lot of it is just people asking about my private life. I could do without it, to be honest. I was the brightest flower in the garden till you showed up on the scene. Now, it's like everyone completely forgot about me, but they fawn over you at every opportunity. Me? I don't see the appeal myself. What do you have that I don't? I'm young too, and everyone knows I'm gorgeous, unlike you. Wow, thanks. You're such a charmer, Harper. I think this is all in your head. I don't agree with you at all. Why would you? You're the one who gets to reap all the benefits. So why are they all obsessed with you? It's 'cause you have a degree and I don't. Or maybe they all get giddy when a young girl smiles and woos them with their cheap flattery. Life must be easy as a people pleaser. I think everyone's just extra nice to me because I'm young and thinks I probably feel daunted after marrying into such a big family. Why does it have to mean they don't like you? I don't get your logic. I'm sure Chris's family will be the exact same towards you when you two get officially hitched. I won't deny it. You are gorgeous. You're way prettier than I could ever hope to be. I bet your family are gonna be super lonely when you're not around anymore. Really? Your dad said he was gonna miss you. I could never replace you, Harper. Why would anyone pay me any attention with a big bright beaming star like you up on the altar? Right, you're right. They all be glued to the spot, transfixed by my dazzling beauty. Of course they will. Why would anyone bother looking at you? Right? That's what I'm saying. Of course you're gonna be the star of the show, babe. You don't have a thing to worry about. So, yeah, to answer your question, me and Dan are both gonna be there. You could hardly have your brother and his wife not show up to your wedding day. I knew this was a bad idea. You need to go home. You need to go home, Faith. Like, disappear, right now. Huh? Why? But the wedding's about to start. Not with you here. I knew I made a mistake by inviting you. You're going home, and that's final. My big day's gonna be ruined if you don't go home. I'm already in a rotten mood because of you. Why? What happened? Did I do something to upset you? I overheard you. You overheard me? Yeah, I just overheard you getting along like a house on fire with my husband's family. I was livid when I saw them all joking and laughing with you. What the hell do you think you're playing at, bitch? Whoa, Jesus, Harper, chill out. What do you mean, what am I playing at? All I did was go up and introduce myself to them, for crying out loud. Bullshit! You always do this. You're up to your old tricks again. I know it. You always have people wrapped around your little finger within 5 minutes of meeting them with that little Miss Perfect act of yours. They're my family, not yours, so stay the hell away from us. Little Miss Perfect? What the hell? I have no idea what you mean. I don't have anyone wrapped around my little finger. All I did was speak to them for a few minutes. Don't play dumb with me. I saw the big crowd around you. Why would you play happy families with my new family like that while leaving me off to one side like the black sheep on my own goddamn wedding day? The limelight is supposed to be on me. Are you trying to steal my attention? What are you talking about? All I did was comment on how much fun your wedding was. Besides, I'm not the only one who talked to them. Dan was with me the whole time. Well, I didn't see him because I was too pissed when I saw you trying to make yourself the center of attention. Anyway, I can't believe a word you say. That's not all. Even my parents were comparing us. I'm so sick and tired of it all. Comparing us? How do you mean? And in what way? They brought up your wedding when they saw me in my wedding dress. My mom said, Faith looked beautiful in her dress too. Can you even imagine how that made me feel? Can you? I don't want to hear about how beautiful some attention-grabbing bitch looked on my wedding day. Harper, I can tell you're upset, but will you please stop calling me that? I'm sure it was just a passing comment because the whole thing reminded them of mine and Dan's wedding. That's all. It hardly sounds like she was comparing us or saying either of us looked better. Stop deluding yourself, Faith. She said you looked beautiful. My own mother said you looked beautiful on my wedding day. That can only mean she thinks you're more beautiful than me. Well, it seems like the only one comparing us here is you. Besides, what's wrong with being different? We all have our own unique qualities. I know there's no way you didn't hear everyone saying how beautiful you look today. Please take some deep breaths and calm down. This is all so unnecessary. Shut your mouth! I hate you! I should be the center of attention, not you. You're nothing but a disgusting eyesore, so get the hell out of my sight and disappear from my wedding. I'm here to celebrate you and your husband on your big day, Harper. Listen, I tell you what, me and Dan will just keep to ourselves for the rest of the ceremony, okay? I can tell it upsets you, so we won't speak to anyone else. I don't need you to celebrate for me. We can celebrate perfectly fine without you. Thanks. All it takes is one look at you to ruin my mood. Hurry up and disappear, whore. Jeez, so I'm a whore now too? You need to chill out. I'm your sister-in-law. Would it really hurt for us to try and get along? I've hated you since the moment I laid eyes on you. Yeah, well, somehow I kinda already knew that. But we're still technically family. So don't you think we should at least try to be amicable with one another? And there it is, your famous Little Miss Perfect act. God, you make me sick. You think you're so special just because you happen to have a degree and work for a prestigious company, don't you? Well, you ain't shit, girl. I don't think I'm special at all, I swear. There's the innocent little good girl act again. I'm gonna have a freaking meltdown if you don't get lost now. Ugh! Stop sucking up to my family. You make me want to vomit. Harper, please. You're a grown woman. Even if you hate me deep down inside, is there really any need to speak to me like this? Weddings are for adults. And hate to have to say this, but I really think you should start acting like one. Do not preach at me, you stuck-up self-righteous bitch. When the star of the show tells you to go home, you go home. Hurry up and get as far as possible from this church before I make you disappear. You're uninvited. Fine, I get it. If you're gonna act like this, then I don't have a choice. I'm going home. Thank God for that. Why couldn't you just have left as soon as I asked you? But are you sure this is what you want? If you kick me out of your wedding, I'm obviously going to see you a little differently than I used to. What? Are you threatening me? Hardly. I just don't like being treated the way you're treating me. Anyone would feel the same in my position. I have no obligation to respect someone who treats me like dirt. It should go without saying, but I won't treat you with the same level of politeness and respect as I have until now. What do I care? I have no intention of having anything to do with you ever again. I see. You know what? That works for me too. I guess this is it then. Goodbye, Harper. Why is the church empty all of a sudden? Where did everyone go? Where's my husband? And both of our parents? Did you do something? I tried to go home just like you told me, but everyone left with me. What? They left with you? Everyone said, okay, we're leaving too then. Oh my God. What about my wedding? What am I supposed to do now? I knew my brother would probably go with you, but why would my husband leave? I wonder. Beats me. Everyone just said they were coming home with me, and that was that. You said something to them, didn't you? This makes no sense. Maybe I did show everyone your messages. When I did, everyone kind of just agreed to leave and shared disgust with you. You did what? Oh my God, I can't believe this. I knew you were up to your old tricks again. Get a grip, Harper. You tricked them. You always do this. You steal everyone and everything I hold dear. Everyone used to love me before you showed up. Before I knew it, you were the center of attention and no one cared about me anymore. I may as well be invisible now, even on my own wedding day. Are you sure you're not making a misunderstanding here? Whether your family or your husband's family like me or not is a separate issue. The real issue here is that you're a selfish, narcissistic, jealous, megalomaniacal bridezilla with no regard for anyone else's feelings and less self-awareness than a potato. Aha! Finally showing your true colors, I see. I knew this is what you thought of me all along. How could you say those things? You're horrible. I'm the victim in all this. I did nothing wrong. You kicked me out of your wedding based on some delusional persecution complex just because you don't like me. I'm your sister-in-law, Harper. How can you call yourself a grown adult? Scratch that. Are you even sane? Your husband said he's very disappointed in you. Chris said that? He said he couldn't bring himself to marry someone so small-minded. You know what? He actually thanked me. He had no idea what you were really like. The wedding's off. I see how it is. You've turned everyone against me with your twisted lies, and now they're all ganging up on me. Even my own husband. How could he do this? Is he seriously ditching me at the altar? This can't be happening. Oh my god. Well, it's happening, and it's happening because of you. What you did to me was way out of line. Oh, Chris went around and apologized to the guests one by one. He told everyone the wedding was off and they had to go home. You can wait alone in that church for as long as you like, but you're not getting married. Don't screw me around. This can't be real. I can't get ditched at the altar. No, this is not the kind of thing that happens to me. What about all the money we put into this? Wasn't Chris the one who paid for everything? You don't have a job, do you? Chris would have called things off unless he was fully prepared to take the financial hit. That's how badly he wants out. I'll never forgive my mom and dad for this. They can go rot in hell for all I care. What kind of parents ruin their own daughter's wedding like this? They're evil. Pure evil. To think they'd trust a meddling bitch like you over me. You're not even related to us. How can you be their favorite? I wonder. I couldn't possibly answer that, Harper. But you know what? Your mom and dad are right next to me. How about we ask them directly? You ready? Here it comes. It's not that we have a favorite, dear. But the way you treated Faith, to be frank, was utterly despicable. Me and your father found it hard to justify staying at the wedding after finding out how you were really behaving behind our backs. What? Don't bullshit me, Faith. You made that up. Believe me, I wish I made it up. And there's more. They said they've been at their wits' end with you and your difficult personality for a while now. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. My difficult personality? What's difficult about my personality? Apparently, they were worried about whether you'd find a guy to marry and settle down because of how arrogant and self-absorbed you are. You'll stop at nothing to get your own way, no matter how much trouble you cause those around you. Not to mention your victim complex. You think the world's out to get you and you lash out in response to every perceived slight. But I did find a guy to marry until you came along and ruined everything. Sure you did, and they said they were super relieved when they found out, because they thought you'd finally grown out of your old ways and become the mature adult they always hoped and prayed you would. But it would appear you haven't changed one bit. You should know better than to act like this at your age. Can you even imagine how disappointed your mom and dad were when they saw those messages? I'm the one who's disappointed here. Stop trying to make this about everyone else when it's about me. I put everything on the line for this marriage. I'm never gonna find another guy as rich, as handsome as Chris.
Oh, I see. So you were marrying him for his money?
No, I didn't mean it like that. Ugh, why do you have to twist everything?
Well, how else am I supposed to interpret that?
I don't know. How about you try using your brain? Maybe your reading skills just suck.
Chris is here too, by the way. He thought that what you said meant the exact same as I did. And I gotta tell you, Harper, he's pissed. He said, wow, so she was with me for my wallet all along?
No, stop twisting my words. I didn't mean it like that.
I could tell how angry he was as soon as he read it. He just told your mom and dad. Your situation just gets worse and worse by the minute, huh, Harper? It's all your fault, of course.
Guys, please come back. Why are you all siding with that lying psycho bitch over me? I'm begging you. Please don't leave me. I can't be on my own. Please.
Harper, are you still at the church? If you are, just hurry up and go home. You can't keep hanging around now that the wedding's been cancelled.
I can't believe this is happening. No one came back. Not a single person. Did everyone really go home? Is this really the end?
Your mom and dad told me and Dan we could go. So we're grabbing some hamburgers at a restaurant near our house right now. I got the impression your mom and dad would be meeting up with Chris's family for a discussion about today's, events. They were just about to head out in the car before we left. Something tells me divorce will be the main thing on the agenda.
Divorce? But we only just got married.
You spoke to Chris on the phone, right?
Yes. He said he doesn't want any of the money he spent on the wedding back. He just wants to get away from me ASAP. So what? I told you to go home, so shoot me. Is that really the worst thing in the world? Does it really justify him being angry with me?
Of course he's gonna be so pissed. What you did to me was horrible.
Fine, maybe I did make everyone mad, but are we really talking call off the wedding levels of mad here? Seriously? Why can't we just talk things through? You know, if it was anyone but you who I kicked out, none of this would be happening. The only reason they're mad with me is because I had the nerve to stand up to their golden girl.
I'm not so sure, Harper. I won't deny it's probably partly because they like me and are disgusted with you for treating me how you did.
It's not just my parents and family you got wrapped around your little finger. My husband and his family are obsessed with you as well. You're a meddling, spiteful little witch who goes around turning everyone I love and hold dear against me. I knew I should have never invited you to the wedding.
Me and Chris have been friends since before the wedding.
Lies! You started trying to woo him as soon as you found out we were getting married. I can count the number of times you met on one hand, damn it. There's no way you should have this much influence over him. Wait a second. Do you mean... No way. Are you having an affair with my husband?
Wrong. You're just talking crazy now. You know how me and him work in the same industry? Well, we hit it off day one when we met over work-related stuff. What we do is really specialized, so it's rare to find another person who actually understands it. Most people would think we were speaking a different language. We first met that night when you got blind drunk and fell asleep with your head in a toilet bowl, so you probably didn't see us.
The first time you met? You mean New Year's Eve last year?
Right. When we all got together at your folks' place, Chris told me there were some things at work that were troubling him. I've been in the business a little longer than him, so I was happy to have him bounce off his issues off me and offer some advice. He seemed really grateful. I get the feeling he's had a lot of respect for me ever since then.
You mean you've had him wrapped around your little finger ever since New Year's Eve?
No, Harper, just no. Why do you have to put it like that? Unlike you, I don't see people as objects to be used for my own personal gain. And as for your mom and dad being so good to me, there's a reason for that. Remember when your dad collapsed?
When he had that stroke 3 years ago?
Yeah. Your mom's been struggling with her back for years now, and there's no way she could have kept on top of his care. So I offered to do it. I took some time off work and lived with him until he was well enough so that they could get by without me. But you didn't even come visit him. Not a single time.
I was busy with work back then.
Your dad was heartbroken when he realized his own daughter didn't care about him. You think I wasn't busy with work? I took time off to look after him because some things are more important than money. Your mom and dad are obviously not going to take lightly to anyone mistreating me after that.
Is that why they constantly shower you with attention?
Oh, I'm not done yet. I covered the down payment on a loan back when they had their house renovated too. Then, I headed over every night after work to help with the decorating for a few weeks until everything was done. But you didn't lift a finger.
Shut up! There's no need to say it twice.
I'm still not done, Harper. There's something else you seem to be forgetting. Back when the wedding was still on, me and Dan agreed to pay for yours and Chris's honeymoon. We covered everything, from flights to food and drink, from the hotel to activities.
I don't need you to tell me my brother paid for the goddamn honeymoon. I know that. Just shut up already.
That was my idea.
It was?
I didn't just go out of my way to help your family, but I went out of my way to make life easier for you too. And this is how you repay me? By throwing it all back in my face? What's the matter, Harper? Cat got your tongue? Is the reason virtually everyone you know is angry with you finally starting to sink in?
Well, fine. Maybe I got a couple of things wrong. I had no idea you did all of those things for me and my family.
Respect has to be earned. You can't just waltz in and expect everyone in your new family to automatically like you. That's not how the world works. Kindness, thoughtfulness, and hard work get rewarded.
But I did my best to make his family like me.
What does doing your best mean to you? Either you were doing your best in the wrong way or your best wasn't enough. Something tells me that if you were genuinely doing your best to be accepted, they wouldn't be so happy to see the back of you.
This is more than just being tossed aside. This is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to a human being in the history of ever. I got dumped on my freaking wedding day. This should have been the most happiest day of my life. But why did this ever happen to me?
Because you were rampaging out of control and didn't care who you hurt if it meant getting your way. This was inevitable. Hopefully you'll learn your lesson and become a better person for it. Being young and beautiful will only get you so far. Harper's husband, Chris, immediately got to work on the divorce proceedings. He really dodged a bullet with that one. He bore the entire financial burden for the wedding since he was the one who paid for everything to begin with. But he's taking a positive outlook and sees it as the price he had to pay to learn a valuable lesson. Apparently his family are pretty well off, so it didn't do much damage in the end. What should have been the happiest day of my sister-in-law's life turned into the most embarrassing, no, a disaster of a kind you usually see on the movies. Me and my husband Dan live with his and Harper's parents, which means she'll probably never dare to show her face here again. Last we heard, she's living alone in some shabby old apartment in the rough part of the town while working part-time as a school janitor. Her parents make no bones about the fact they never want to see her again. She's not our problem anymore. She did this to herself. were the final words of her mom said on the matter. When you think about it, the way she managed to lose the support of her entire family in one fell swoop is quite impressive, and it speaks volumes about what they really thought of her. As usual, everyone's still amazingly kind and supportive towards me. Dan's family make me feel so welcome and accepted that I feel like their real daughter. I feel blessed to have them in my life, and I always do my best to let them know I'm grateful.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Paul. I'm sorry, but I'm really not up to cooking anything for dinner this evening. I know you've been busy at work all day, but would you mind picking yourself up something from the store on the way back?
Don't sweat it. I'll cook for us tonight.
Wow. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's no big deal. Besides, we've practically been living off nothing but takeout lately. We should really start thinking about stuff like vitamins and nutrients, now that you're eating for two.
I'm sorry, honey. I've been so tired lately you wouldn't believe. My body's so heavy these days that even getting from the sofa to the kitchen is an accomplishment, and I've been suffering with awful morning sickness on top of it.
I know it must be tough for you, babe, but before long, it'll all be worth it. Not long now, huh? In less than 2 months, we're gonna be parents. Hey, I tell you what, when we get done eating, I'll give you one of my famous foot massages.
Thanks. Your massages are the best. I can't wait. I know you must be crazy tired from all the hours you've been working lately. Sorry to trouble you.
It's nothing, really. What's this world coming to if you can't give the mother of your child a foot massage after work? Besides, your burden is a lot heavier than mine. As a guy, this kind of thing is about all I can do, so I'll be damned if I'm not going to do everything I can. You've been growing a brand new human in your belly for the last 7 months. Can't even begin to imagine what that must be like.
You're the best husband in the world. I feel so lucky to have you. You're the kindest, most understanding person I've ever met.
You really think so?
Of course I do. On top of the crazy hours you're putting in at the office to make sure me and our baby have everything we need, you help out with the housework, and you even cook sometimes. You go the extra mile for me, honey. I hope you know how much I appreciate it. Not all couples are like this, you know. My friend told me her and her husband were bickering and fighting practically every 5 minutes while she was pregnant with their son. Apparently, he never helped her with anything.
Well, my company doesn't ask us to do overtime unless there's some kind of emergency, so I have it pretty easy compared to a lot of people. If I was in a busier industry, or worked at a company with a more questionable take on ethics, there's no guarantee I'd be able to help out as much as I do. In truth, I feel lucky.
Huh? But you help me out around the house even when you're busy.
I suppose I do what I can. My sister was always asking me for favors back when she was pregnant. I guess you could say I'm used to it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I remember. You were always rushing out to drive her from A to B or pick up groceries. You were her lifeline back then, with her husband not always being around.
I've never thought of it that way, but I guess I might have been handy to have on standby. The timing on her husband's business trips were nothing short of a disaster. I know he couldn't help it, but it really made things difficult for her. My mom and dad were so tied up with work back in our hometown that they weren't much help either.
No kidding. Your parents are workhorses in every sense of the word. I've never known anyone to work so hard at their age. I can't help but wonder if that's why your mom hates me.
Whoa, where did that come from? My mom hates you? What makes you think that?
Yeah. She's always so cold and blunt with me.
Huh? Really? But didn't you say you thought she was really kind before?
She was until I got pregnant. Ever since I quit my job so I could come home to be with you and get ready for the birth, I can't help but feel she's been off with me. Sure, it's not like we live together or anything, and I hardly ever see her, but I feel... I don't know. I guess you could call it hostility? From the tone of her message and phone calls.
Wow. I had no idea. I really don't think my mom's the type of person to hate someone just because they're not working. Especially when you have a perfectly legitimate reason. You're heavily pregnant, for crying out loud. Besides, don't all soon-to-be moms stop working when they're as ready to burst as you are?
Sure they do, but don't you think she might be angry because I quit my job outright instead of going on maternity leave? I feel like she's being cold towards me because I left the company.
How so? Any examples?
Well, for starts, she used to send me tons of presents. Your mom's always going away on business, right? Well, she'd send me gifts and souvenirs from wherever it was she happened to be, but lately she hasn't sent anything.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. Surely that just means she hasn't been on any business trips lately?
That's not all. She was really cold towards me when I told her the baby's due date, and she hasn't been to see me once. And I guess, why would she? It's not like I'm her real daughter. It won't be her first grandchild either, so she probably doesn't care.
She was asking all kinds of questions about how you were. Last time we spoke on the phone, she actually seemed really interested in you.
Really?
Yeah, really. I think you're overthinking this.
I hope so.
I know you can't help how you feel though, sweetie. So don't sweat it. If that's the impression you got, then that's the impression you got. I honestly don't think there's anything to worry about though. I hope you'll always let me know whenever something's bothering you. I tell you what, I'll ask my mom a few roundabout questions. Hopefully that will help put your mind at rest. Asking her directly might upset her and make things awkward between you, so I'll have to be discreet. But leave it with me.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. I'll just put it down to me overthinking for the time being. Anyway, see you soon. Drive safe. Paul, are you there? Are you still at work? What's going on? You're normally home 2 hours ago. Why haven't you messaged me?
Sorry, I'm on my way home now.
Were you at work? Where have you been?
Listen, Catherine,
What the hell is going on?
there were some problems at the office.
There were? Ugh, I've been going out of my mind with worry here, Paul. Why didn't you tell me? You're normally home way earlier than this. I felt like you'd vanished off the face of the earth when you didn't message me.
I'm really sorry, babe. That was wrong of me. I was rushing around like such a lunatic trying to get on top of the situation at work that I totally lost track of time.
Is everything okay? When you say you're coming home now, does that mean it's all been dealt with?
No, not quite. I've reached my limit for today, though. I'm on my way home regardless.
I see. It's not like you do overtime. I think this might be the first time since we started dating.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Anyway, enough of that. I'm sure you just want to forget about it all for today, right, sweetie? More importantly, supper! I know you're probably tired, so I understand if you just want to make something simple. Do you have anything in mind?
Actually, I think I'm just gonna pick something up on the way home today. Tired doesn't even begin to cover my mental state after the day I've had. It's late, too. It'll be time for bed by the time I finish preparing and cooking everything, even if it is something simple.
Oh my god, seriously? But I was so looking forward to eating one of your home-cooked meals.
Please, can you just cut me some slack today?
Fine. I'll settle for a ready meal then. But I want a cup of soup too. Make sure you get the freeze-dried type.
All right, got it.
Oh yeah, guess what? I sent your mom a picture of the ultrasound today, but you'll never believe it. She left me on red. I got totally blanked. Don't you think that's horrible?
I see.
I see? Is that all you've got to say? A little more understanding would be nice. You know before how I said I was gonna chalk what I thought about your mom being cold towards me down to overthinking? Well, I take it back. Who leaves a picture of their daughter-in-law's baby scan on red? That confirms it. I was right. She hates me.
All right, leave it with me. I'll prod around with a few indirectly worded questions, but let's not jump to conclusions before we know for sure, okay? You know how busy she is. Maybe she just forgot to reply.
I really don't think she did. She was never like this before. I hope you're gonna have my back if it turns out she does hate me. Can I count on you, Paul? Are you gonna be there when I need you?
Well...
Because the thing is, I have no interest in having any kind of relationship with someone who hates me. How about you pick a damn side and stop fence-sitting for once?
I'm not sitting on the fence, Catherine. I just don't want to go doing anything brash without knowing the full story. But rest assured, I won't force you to carry on seeing her if it turns out what you're saying is true.
Good. Anyway, I'm hungry. Hurry up and get home with my supper.
By the way, I saw David, your old coworker, earlier,
Where?
on the way to a meeting with a client.
Really? I haven't spoken to him since I left the company. How was he? Is he doing well?
I only saw him from a distance. It reminded me of what good friends we all used to be. Remember how we used to go out with him and his wife on days out or to restaurants together? Stuff like that? We don't see each other at all these days.
It's true, we don't, but remember, they have a son to think about now. It's hard to find time for things like that when you have kids.
Sure, I get that. But it'd be nice to see them again, you know? For old time's sake. How about we all get together again after the baby's born? You were saying you wanted some other mom friends just the other day, right? I think David's wife, Christine, would be perfect. I mean, you're already friends, right? It'd just be a case of picking up where you left off.
Listen, baby, the truth is, me and Christine aren't friends. I actually found her really difficult to get along with.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. Surely you know her personality's a little gloomy, right? It's like walking on eggshells being around someone like that.
I honestly never noticed.
'Cause you're a dullard. It's fine. I'm sure I'll find some new mom friends if I keep looking. I'm not so desperate for company that I tolerate people I don't like.
Yeah, fair point. Anyway, I'll be home after I pick up something to eat from the store.
Paul, are you serious? I'm so mad at you. What are you playing at? Ugh! You are gonna come see me at the hospital today, aren't you? Your son wants to meet you.
I'm sorry. I can't.
What did you just say? Are you being serious right now?
Yes.
You mean you can't make it 'cause of work today? Again?
Yep.
Ugh, this cannot be happening. You've only been to see us at the hospital once since I gave birth. What do you think you're playing at? I don't want to hear any crap about overtime either, 'cause I know your company doesn't make you do any. Who does this as soon as their kid is born? You do know me and your son are coming home tomorrow, don't you?
I don't have a son. I want a divorce. Whether you come home or not makes no difference to me.
Oh my God, Paul, what are you talking about? Where's all this coming from? Stop joking around. I'm not laughing. Just stop it.
I'm not joking. I'm as serious as it gets.
Why are you being like this? Do you have any idea what a toll being pregnant all the time took on me? The birth wasn't exactly a walk in the park either.
Yep.
Yup? What the freaking hell is yup? I don't want to hear yep. You goddamn jerkwad. Don't you care about your son?
I believe that all children are precious. But I find it difficult to care about your son for personal reasons.
My son? He's your son too, Paul. Oh, you make me sick. I never thought you were like this. I would have never gotten pregnant if I knew you were gonna divorce me. Take responsibility.
Nope.
Do not screw around, you lowlife prick. He doesn't even have a name yet. What am I supposed to put on the birth certificate?
You should probably hold off on that. And whatever you do not write my name on it.
I was wrong about you. If I knew you were gonna toss me aside like a piece of garbage the moment things got tough, I would have never let you get me pregnant. I would have never married you. I'm phoning your parents. Mark my words, you will take responsibility for what you've done. Paul, I got discharged from the hospital today. I just got home. What's going on? Where are our things? The house is almost empty.
Yep, I took all my stuff. Your things are in cardboard boxes in the bedroom. You can deal with sending them off to wherever you go from here by yourself. I'm selling the house.
Wow. I can't believe it. So you were serious about the divorce?
Yep. I left the divorce papers on the shelf by the front door. I need you to sign them and post them in the envelope I left.
You mean you can't even bring yourself to see my face? Is that why you left before I got home?
Bingo. If we need to discuss anything, we can do it through our lawyers.
What about our son? How am I supposed to raise him in a house with nothing in it?
It's not my problem what you do with the kid. But like I said, I'm selling the house, so you definitely won't be raising him there. How about you take him to David's place?
Huh?
Your old coworker, David. You know, his real dad.
What are you talking about? He's your son.
Can you prove it?
Prove it? Why do you need proof? Surely you know he's yours. I'm your wife, for Pete's sake.
But that kid's the product of an affair. Of course, it's not his fault his parents are cheating lowlives. But I have neither any right nor obligation to raise him.
Oh my god. How can you say these things? You're horrible.
The only one who's horrible here is you. You lied about him being mine while knowing damn well he wasn't. You filled me with false hope, in an attempt to get me to raise someone else's kid.
What makes you think he's David's? Because we got along before the pregnancy? Oh, please. Just because I have male friends doesn't mean I'm seeing them behind your back.
My mom said she saw you together after we found out you were pregnant.
Huh?
It was just after you left the company to come back to live at home with me. You were away for 3 days straight, remember? Because you didn't come home straight away. You stopped off in Philly on the way, didn't you?
Philly? What? No way! I've never been there. Are you sure this isn't a case of mistaken identity?
Granted, she saw you from pretty far away, but she took plenty of pictures. She was over there on a business trip at the time. When she realized what she was seeing, her and her coworker followed you into a cafe to see if they couldn't eavesdrop on your conversation.
No way!
Yes way. She had her coworker who you don't know sit on the next table across. She overheard everything. How did it go again? Oh yeah, David, this baby. There's a good chance it's not Paul's. I think you're the father.
What? No! She must have misheard us!
Even still, why would you be in Philly with David in the first place?
Well, we just bumped into each other by chance.
In Philly? Since when do you go there? I could at least respect you a little if you were just honest about what you did. This is why my mom's been off with you ever since. Because she knew you were cheating on me, and that the baby might not be mine. Obviously, she couldn't know for sure without digging deeper. You said it yourself. There was still a chance it might be mine. But at the same time, she knew how hurt I'd be if she told me what she saw. She said she was chronically worried and losing sleep because she didn't know whether to tell me.
But that's why you decided to divorce me, right? Because of what your mom told you? In the end, she did hurt you, and she did it all for nothing because this little boy is yours, I swear!
The only one who hurt me is you. Even if there was still a chance he was mine. That doesn't take away the fact that you cheated on me.
But I didn't! Where's the proof? Surely you're not making accusations like this based purely on something your mom told you she thinks she saw? Are you really gonna point the finger of doubt on your own wife based on hearsay? Without a shred of evidence? That's horrible!
If it's proof you want, I have it. Have you heard the term DNA test before? Remember that time I came to visit you at the hospital after the birth? Well, I was actually there for a DNA test.
Wait, what?
The results came in yesterday. It's just like I thought. He's not mine.
No way! Oh, this can't be happening. This is all a sick joke, right?
I wish it was, Catherine. I wish it was. This proves, beyond any shadow of a doubt, you cheated on me. I can't believe I had to find out like this.
I'm so sorry.
Does that mean you admit it?
No, please hear me out. Look, this is how it happened. Dave invited me over to his house. He said his wife couldn't drink because she was pregnant, but he really wanted to have a drink with someone, so he offered me some wine. It was really strong. I don't know if maybe he put something in it because I don't remember anything after that.
Let me get this straight. You're saying you think he spiked your drink and raped you?
Yes.
That's strange, because I'm with David right now, and he says you're lying.
What?
I drove over to see him because I wanted to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. He admitted it the moment I showed him the DNA results.
No, he's lying! You can't trust a word he says. He's a pathological liar.
He showed me your message history. It wasn't just a one-off, was it? There were no mentions of any drinks being spiked or anyone passing out and not remembering anything. In fact, it seems to me like you were always really excited to go and see him.
Paul, please. My head was all over the place back then after what he did to me. I wasn't thinking straight. You're the only one I love, and that's the truth. Please believe me, I never wanted to divorce you.
Of course you didn't. What would it accomplish? He was a married man, after all. But whether you wanted a divorce or not, you still cheated on me. And without a condom, no less, you dirty girl.
I'm so sorry, baby.
Don't baby me, you lying whore. You tried to trick me into raising another man's kid. You're the most despicable person I've ever had the displeasure of knowing.
Whether this baby boy turned out to be yours or not, I've always thought of you as his. I've been filled with nothing but regret this whole time. I swore never to betray you again when I found out I was pregnant. I was committed to raising him together as our son. Do you have any idea how hard this pregnancy was on me?
Not my problem. You only have yourself to blame.
I believed with all my heart that you'd be man enough to step up to the plate and raise this baby boy, even if you weren't blood related.
Man enough to raise someone else's kid? Now I've heard it all! Look, I'll admit that if I'd spent long enough raising him without knowing the truth, I probably would have gotten attached and found it difficult to let go.
Right? So why do things have to be different now? You can still raise and love him as your own.
But I do know the truth now, don't I? I know exactly what you did.
This is all your mom's fault. If your mom didn't go sticking her nose where it didn't belong, this poor boy would have grown up with both parents in his life, surrounded by love and warmth.
Have you heard yourself? What are you even saying? Don't blame the mess you made on my mom. She was only trying to look out for me. You and David are the only ones at fault here.
Paul, please, I'm so sorry. Please give me another chance. I swear I'll never betray you again. I'll dedicate every fiber of my being to making you and this baby boy happy for as long as I live.
Nah. Me and you are done. And I sure as hell ain't raising some other dude's kid.
Please don't divorce me, baby. I can't bear to lose you. You're all I have.
You really meant that. You would have never cheated on me in the first place. No matter how desperately you beg and plead, there isn't anything you could possibly say at this point that would change things.
Oh my God. I can't raise a baby boy on my own. What am I supposed to do without you?
I just got off the phone with your mom. Her and your dad are gonna come and pick you up from the house soon. So presumably you'll be staying with them for a while. You and David can take care of the rest between yourselves and his family.
But I want to raise this boy with you.
Believe me, I wanted to as well. I wanted it more than anything. Till I found out, that is. I felt like my heart stopped when I got that phone call from my mom a month ago. My world was flipped and turned upside down in an instant. I wanted to believe in you. That's why I went for a DNA test. I was willing to pretend I didn't know about the affair for the sake of the kid if it turned out to be mine. But he isn't.
I'm so sorry.
Not only is he not my kid, but now I know that my own wife is a treacherous lowlife who cheated on me. You can't chalk this down to getting drunk and being taken advantage of or making a mistake, because you went back to him time and time again. How do you think I felt when I found out? You have no idea, do you? Do you even care? I find it hard to believe you'd be capable of something so cruel and heartless if you did.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm begging you. I'll do anything.
There's nothing I want from you. Forget about me and focus on making your son happy from now on. There's nothing I can do for him because I'm not his dad. It's time for you to take responsibility for what you did. After that, with the assistance of my lawyer, I divorced Catherine without a hitch. Naturally, her lover, David's name, was the one that ended up on the father field in the birth certificate. Catherine, suddenly having nowhere to live, went to stay with her parents, who, in spite of being disgusted by their daughter's actions, couldn't bring themselves to abandon her and their grandson. Apparently, they were beside themselves with anger and disappointment towards Catherine, but they understood that the baby was an innocent victim in all of this, and wanted to make sure he wasn't punished for the sins of the mother. Babies, especially newborns, need to be raised in a warm, loving environment with people who can be relied on to provide constant care and attention they need. As such, my ex-in-laws vowed to do everything they could to provide for him, which, in spite of me having no relation to the kid, put my mind strangely at ease. As for David, my ex-wife's lover, his wife Christine divorced him immediately when she found out about his extracurricular activities. Apparently her parents are pretty well off, which meant neither them nor Christine were financially dependent on David, and as such, they could afford to remove him from their lives completely, which they promptly did. Who was a top executive at the company. Needless to say, he didn't take too kindly to the betrayal of his daughter, and David quickly found himself unemployed. I hear he moved out to the countryside to escape the shame of his actions, and is now working like a dog to keep up with the child support payments for his and my ex-wife's kids. My ex-wife messaged me, begging me to take her back countless times after the divorce, but I ignored her every time. There's nothing I can do for her now. I only hope that she thoroughly honors her responsibilities as a mother and does her absolute best to raise her son in spite of the circumstances. I dove headfirst into my work after everything that happened. So much so that my coworkers joked that I should set up a tent in the office. I hoped it might help me forget the trauma of being betrayed by a woman that I loved the most in the world. And you know what? It did. Between that and the kind, understanding, and unwavering support of my family, friends, and coworkers, I'm actually starting to feel a lot better. I don't have so many flashbacks or nightmares about what happened anymore either. I'm having a blast, devoting myself to my hobbies for the first time in years, something I never had the time to do when I was married. Finding out my wife was pregnant with someone else's kid was quite a shock, but now I'm putting it all behind me and focusing on building a happy, fulfilling new life for myself. How can you enjoy the present if you spend all your time dwelling on the past? Onwards and upwards, I say. Life is full of ups and downs. I've had my fair share of downs, but I firmly believe that my happiest years still lie ahead of me, and I'm going to do everything I can to make them a reality.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Joanne, did you see the news? It said electricity bills went up another 30 to 40% this winter. Can you believe this crap?
Yeah, I saw. Things are getting so hard for average working people. Gas and electricity are already through the roof, and yet the expenses just keep piling up. Where does it end?
You're always at home. You need to stop using the heating, we can't afford it.
In the dead of winter? Are you joking?
Do you have any idea how our bills are going to be if you have it turned up like that all day? We're going to be paying out the eyeballs if we don't get it in check. You can keep warm by working harder, cleaning the house, huh? It only gets real cold at night, but that's fine, because I can keep you toasty and warm if you catch my drift, sweet cheeks. Start wearing thicker clothes till I get back and toughen the heck up, huh?
You do realize that if I don't turn the heating on, it's going to be as cold inside the house as it is outside. I can't live like that. What do you think I am, an Eskimo?
That's why I told you to wear thicker clothes and toughen up. You'll get by somehow. How do you think people survive before central heating?
I don't know, by suffering a lot? Besides, why can't I have the heating on? It's always at max capacity whenever you're in the house.
Yep, when you're the man of the house, you have a duty to be maximally snug. How am I supposed to pull in Iron Man numbers at the office if I ain't as toasty as a campfire marshmallow? You don't have a job, so you better make damn sure you turn it off when I leave the house. A stay-at-home housewife does not need the heating on. It's a waste of money.
How's it a waste of money? I might not work in a cubicle, but I still work. I'm busy around the house all day. What's heating for if not keeping people warm? Why should we only turn it on when you're home?
Because I'm the one who puts the bread on the table, honey bun. It's only fair I get special treatment. What would you do if you got a cold? Ever think about that, huh? Huh? If I couldn't work anymore, where would the money come from? It'll be finished, I tell you, finished!
Fine, point taken. I'll do as you say.
Listen, baby, here's what I'll do. If I ever get promoted to manager, I'll let you use the aircon once a week during the summer, if there's ever a heat wave.
Do you have ambitions for promotion?
It's not like I'm planning on it, but let's face it, it's gonna happen eventually. This is me we're talking about here. If you ask me, we're talking months, not years. The president loves me and everyone knows it. It's not what you know, it's who you know. I even have his number. That's how tight we are.
Wow, like his private phone number? That's actually impressive.
Right? It's obvious he's got me in the sights for promotion. I'm on the road to success and ain't no one gonna stop me. Full speed ahead!
That's great, honey. Being buddies with the president can only be a good thing.
I can't deny it stings a little to act like his lapdog, but it's gonna pay off in a big way one day. Ability is important, but it's nowhere as important as integrating yourself with the bigwigs. That's the key to success. And when it comes to that, ain't no one as talented as me. All the higher-ups love me. It's been the same at every job I ever had.
Your company's president is an amazing guy, right?
Yep. He went from being raised by a single mom in one of the poorest towns in the country to single-handedly building one of the most respected donut companies on the planet. He's got the brains, he's got the charisma, he's got the donuts! He's got it all! To tell you the truth, I want to be like him. I've been with him a lot these last months, like shadowing him. You know, it might sound crazy, but something tells me he's training me up to be a successor.
Wow.
Huh? What's wow supposed to mean?
I didn't particularly mean anything by it. I'm just impressed is all.
Liar. You don't seem interested in what I'm saying at all. You're the one who asked me about him in the first place. Why the heck you gotta reply like such a deflated balloon, huh? You making fun of me?
No, I'm really not.
Whatever. There's no way someone like you could understand what an incredible man the president is. Stay-at-home housewives aren't exactly renowned for their brains. As if someone like you could ever comprehend what it takes to manage a company. All you have to do is my supper.
Sorry. I didn't mean to upset you, honey. I wasn't making fun of you at all, I swear.
Relax, this is my fault. I should have known better than to expect you to be able to hold your own conversation about complicated big brain stuff. Still, I shouldn't be so hard on you. You might have the intelligence of a grapefruit, but at least you know how to do what you're told. That's the most important quality in a woman. Do not use the heating while I'm at work, you got that? Don't think I won't know if you use it in secret. I know everything. I'll be able to tell from the utility bills, and believe me, there will be hell to pay. Hey! The utilities went up! Did you turn the heating on in secret?
I haven't been using it at all.
Why do the bills keep going up then? It doesn't add up.
Maybe because you always have it turned up to max whenever you're at home. I have to wear t-shirts when you're around because the place turned into a damn sauna. You could at least turn it down a bit. Why does it have to be on max?
Whatever, I hardly use it.
I knew this was coming. Things were bound to get expensive with how hot the house has been on your days off lately. What's the point of me being sat around freezing my pinky off during the day if you do this? You're canceling out my efforts.
It's the damn government's fault for not handling the economy better. I'll catch a cold if I don't turn it up. You don't want me to get sick, do you, babe?
What's wrong with putting more layers on? That's what you tell me to do. Why can't you take your own advice?
God, you're a pain in the ass. Zip it already, you damn foghorn! I'm the breadwinner in this household, and I will not be talked down to by the likes of you. Whatever the extra heating I use is costing us, we'll just have to save elsewhere.
How are we supposed to save any more money than we already are if not on the heating? I live complete without gas or electricity when you're not home. I may as well be in the Stone Age. There's literally no more money to be saved.
Oh, yes, there is. You seem to be forgetting something. Gasoline. That's right. You're banned from using gasoline from now on.
What? But how am I supposed to drive?
You're banned from driving.
What the heck? You can't ban me from driving? How am I supposed to live without the car? It takes 20 minutes to walk to the nearest supermarket.
So walk 20 minutes. Jeez, are you seriously complaining over a measly 20 minutes? Being a stay-at-home housewife made you lazy. Back in my grandparents' day, they walked 20 minutes and they liked it. I can't believe you're actually making it out like it's a big deal.
It might not seem like much, but you gotta remember I'm gonna be carrying a bunch of shopping bags on the way back. And there's a limit on how much I can carry without the car. Are you really that desperate to save money?
Yep.
Fine.
Oh yeah, you talking about the supermarket reminded me. I have an online drinking party with my old buddies from high school. I want some beer and nuts ready on the table before it starts, eh? Make it happen.
Huh? Today?
Yep. Go buy me a case of beer.
Didn't you see the weather report for today?
Snow, right? What's the big deal? Same as usual.
This is nothing like usual, Rishi. Have you looked out the window? We're due record snowfall for crying out loud. I'll get buried. Do you really expect me to go to the supermarket in this? On foot?
Yep. What's the problem?
You want me to walk to the supermarket in the middle of a record-breaking snowstorm for a case of beer? Please just be real with me for a moment. It's a whiteout outside. This is nothing like going out for a walk on a normal day.
You grew up in Canada, Joanne. No one's more used to snow than you. Believe in yourself, babe. If anyone can do this, you can.
Just because I grew up around snow doesn't mean I can go out for a stroll in a record-breaking snowstorm. Look out the window for heaven's sake. I won't last 5 minutes. It said on the news to stay indoors.
They always say that. Oh, the world's gone soft, babe. Surely you ain't gonna listen to those pansies.
I don't even have a bike. How am I supposed to bring back a case of beer? Beer is kinda heavy, you know?
Carry it, you big sissy!
Are you serious?
Dead serious. If you have time to whine at me like this, you have time to go to the supermarket. If I didn't have a case of beer and some nuts for my drinking party with the boys later, I'm kicking you the hell out. You can spend the night in the yard.
Rishi?
Hey, boss, what's up? I can't say I expected a message from the company president today.
You're fired.
Fired? Where did that come from, boss?
Don't play dumb with me, you sniveling rat. That kind of scumbag who kicks his wife out in the middle of a snowstorm is not welcome at our company.
My wife?
I heard all about how you forced her to walk into the supermarket in this god-awful weather. Oh yes, you banned her from driving too, didn't you?
How'd you know all this?
I ran into Joanne.
Where?
On the street. I almost ran over a woman crossing the road when I was out driving with my wife. My visibility was next to nothing with the intensity of the snowstorm, so I didn't see her till the last second. But thankfully I was able to brake in time.
And that woman was my wife?
I jumped out of the car to check on her because I could tell something wasn't right. She was hobbling along like she was about to collapse. When I did, I noticed her face was covered in frozen tears. I could see she was in a bad way, so we sat her down in the car and asked her what happened. She would have come down with frostbite if she stayed out any longer. My wife can't look the other way when someone's in need.
Sir, what exactly did my wife tell you?
She said you forced her to cut back on living expenses to such an extreme level that it was affecting her health. And in spite of that fact, you banned her from using practically every modern amenity there is. You always had the heating turned up to max whenever you were home. Basically, you're an overbearing control freak with less financial sense than a donkey.
Whoa, whoa, please, Brian. I mean, sir. Let's just slow down for a sec here. That's not true at all. The only reason I told her to start being more financially conscious was because our outgoings were going a rate of knots. That's for her own benefit, I swear. Listen, sir, the thing you should know about my wife is... she has the kind of, how to put it, victim complex? She's always been like this. As soon as she gets stressed out or unhappy, she starts telling the craziest lies.
The only liar here is you. She showed me your message history. You bullied, ridiculed, and insulted her like it was no one's business.
No way, I didn't!
Lies! You looked down on her for being a stay-at-home housewife. I hate guys like you more than anything in the world. You make me sick.
Sir?
Looking through your message history reminded me of my dad. He was a controlling, misogynistic scumbag like you. He thought my mom being a stay-at-home housewife made her inferior to him. She lived in terror, constantly walking on eggshells and doing whatever it took to keep him happy. But it was never enough. I worked like my life depended on it to protect her.
Wow, really, sir? I had no idea.
You're just like my good-for-nothing waste of a space dad. You disgust me. My mom divorced him in the end. It was the best decision she ever made. We didn't need him one bit. Not with me there to look after her. Scum like you is not welcome at my company.
But sir, please! I wanted to become president one day. This might sound strange, but I think you're incredible, sir. Seeing the way you work, how you rush around like a man possessed, keeping everything running smoothly all the time, it really inspires me. To tell you the truth, you're my idol.
I'm your idol? You want to be like me? Don't make me laugh. My wife is the most important person in the world to me. More important than my job. More important than the company itself.
More important than the company?
I wouldn't have been able to accomplish any of it without her. The only reason I'm able to keep things running smoothly at work all the time is because she's there supporting me, day in and day out. You'll never be like me if you think you can go it alone. And you're in for a rude wake-up call if you're deluded enough to believe otherwise.
No, I could do it, sir. I know I have what it takes, but please. This is all one huge misunderstanding. It's not what you think. Can we talk about this in person?
No can do. I already went home. There's no reason to stay out in weather this awful. By the way, we brought your wife home with us too. We wouldn't have been able to sleep if we let her go back to someone like you.
Wait, Joanne's at your house? Please, can I speak to her?
Hi, it's me.
Joanne! It seems like there's been some kind of huge misunderstanding. I never mistreated you, did I? Except that maybe I was a little strict every now and then, but I did it for you. You know I always had your best interests at heart, right, babe?
Listen to me. I almost died because of you. The sled I was using to carry your beer broke on the way home from the supermarket. The blizzard got worse, and my walking slowed down because of the cold. Things got so bad that I wasn't even sure if I could make it home anymore. I broke down in tears, feeling lost and hopeless. If your company president and his wife hadn't showed up when they did, I shudder to think what might have happened to me.
Wow, I see. I'm so sorry. You shouldn't have had to go through that, but why didn't you just call me if you were struggling so much? I would have been out in the car in a flash.
Huh? What's gotten into you? You changed your tune from constantly calling me useless and lazy. Are you being nice to me because your boss is here? You really are a crafty piece of shit.
Oh, what the heck? Don't call me things like that, babe. Your words, they hurt.
Brian's wife told me she was there to listen if there was anything I wanted to tell her. And there was. A lot. I told her everything. Even if she was a stranger, I thought it'd feel good to get everything off my chest. I realized the guy who saved me was none other than the president of your company halfway through the conversation. You should have seen the look on his face when he realized I was your wife. Our jaws were practically on the floor.
I understand how you feel, babe. You've been through a lot. We can carry on this conversation at home, right?
I'm not coming home today.
What?
Brian's wife invited me out for dinner. After that, she said I'm spending the night here in their spare room. It didn't sound like I had a choice, and besides, who might have turned down such hospitality? So yeah, I won't be coming home tonight. Deal with it.
What are you talking about? This is the president of my company we're talking about here. You can't stay at his house. Hurry up and come home and let's end this nonsense.
Why would I come home when me and the president's wife are getting along so well? Her and Brian are pleasant to be around, and they're actually nice to me, unlike you.
But well, the president really likes me too. I was his favorite employee at the whole company.
Based on what? Your own delusions? You couldn't be more wrong. Brian couldn't have cared less about you.
What?
It took him a few seconds to realize who I was even talking about when I first mentioned you. He said, "Oh, that really annoying guy who's constantly brown-nosing me." Needless to say, he didn't have a particularly high opinion of you.
But I had his phone number. His personal phone number, Joanne.
That was from the company New Year's party, right? He said he got carried away and gave you it while he was embarrassingly drunk after one too many champagnes. It really wasn't as profoundly significant as you seem to think it was.
No way.
Yes way. Are we done now? Get your own beer and nuts.
Joanne! When are you coming home?
You're annoying. I'm busy baking a cake with the president's wife right now. Stop bugging me.
No, you're the one bugging them. I bet they're secretly sick and tired of having you around. They're just too nice to send you home.
Wrong. To the contrary, I announced my departure because I thought I was getting in their way. But they insisted I'll stay a little longer because they wanted me to meet someone. I'll be home after that.
They want you to meet someone. Who?
A lawyer. They told me to hang around a little longer while they find me a good divorce lawyer.
A divorce lawyer? What? Is this some kind of joke?
Brian told me I shouldn't be married to a man like you. He said I could do so much better.
What? Just because he's my boss doesn't give him the right to go interfering in my private life? This crosses the line.
You see, Rishi, the thing is, I agree with him. Me and you are done. We're getting a divorce. Not because Brian told me to, but because that's what I want.
How are you going to get by without me? It'll never work. You need me. You're a stay-at-home housewife, damn it. How do you expect to find work? You'll never be able to support yourself without me putting food on the table.
Don't worry about it. Brian said there are some openings at his company. I know that's probably the last thing you wanted to hear after getting fired, but meh, whatever.
Why do I have to get fired? So I was a little cold towards my wife, so what? Why does that mean I should lose my job? No matter which way you look at it, this isn't fair.
Allow me to explain why you were dismissed.
Brian.
That's right. Your wife just gave me the phone. Now, about your dismissal. Of course you're not being dismissed over this little incident. That would be an abuse of my powers.
You mean there are other reasons? I've been working my butt off to bring in results for this company ever since I joined. No one works as hard as me.
Hearing about what a rotten human being you are from your wife got me curious about your reputation at work. I called several of the managers and asked them what they thought of you. They didn't have anything particularly bad to say.
Right? Of course they didn't.
But they didn't have anything particularly good to say either. Not satisfied, I decided to call some of the regular employees from your department. When I did, it was nothing but complaints and criticism.
No way. There has to be some kind of mistake.
I heard all about how you forced your work onto employees lower down the hierarchy than you, and then bragged to the managers as if you'd done the work yourself. You had your work up all the managers' asses and treated everyone below you like crap. That's your reputation at this company. To be honest, it was difficult to listen to. I feel like I failed in my duty as company president by allowing a rat like you to stay on my ship for this long. Countless new employees left because of you.
No way, I never made anyone leave. They probably just weren't cut out for the job, huh? Who the hell's telling all these lies about me?
I guess this was inevitable, with the company getting so big. There was a time when I was aware of pretty much everything that was going on. But the more the company grew, the more difficult it became. Eventually, as I delegated responsibilities to executives and managers, I stopped hearing about the reputations of the individual employees. You slipped right through the cracks.
No! Someone's trying to ruin my life by telling lies about me!
You can give it a rest already. I have plenty of proof of you forcing your work onto other employees and taking the credit for their accomplishments. I'm a strong believer in meritocracy. If I'm your idol, as you say, you should know I spent some time working in Silicon Valley.
Right, I did hear about that.
Well, in Silicon Valley, they don't tolerate lazy, deadweight employees. If you don't bring in results, you don't get to keep your job. And you, Rishi,
do not get to keep your job.
Please wait! Let's not do anything drastic here, sir. With all due respect, you're making a mistake. I'm an asset. I make a big contribution to the company.
Any contribution you make is only because you steal the accomplishments of your co-workers. You're nothing but a salary thief. There is no place for a waste of space like you at my company. Find another job.
Looks like Brian's done speaking now. Good luck with the job hunting.
Joanne? No! No, 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 no! No! Why should things go so well for you and I'm getting served up a big shit sandwich? This is not fair!
Fair? You got some nerve to talk about fairness when you forced me to live like a peasant while you lived like a king. Not anymore, though. Now you're just some jobless loser. Before long, you're gonna be shivering with cold, just like I was. You hungry? Fear not, 'cause dinner is served. A generous serving of poverty with a side order of frostbite. With that, I swiftly divorced my husband, and the whole thing went by without a hitch. To add insult to injury, Brian, being true to his word, fired him immediately. Then, he gave me an administrative position at his company. The company my husband just got fired from. It's hard not to believe in karma sometimes. As one door closes, another one opens. Thankfully, since I was in a different department and my surname had changed, no one knew who my ex-husband was. Brian's been amazing throughout this whole thing. And thanks to his kindness, support, and understanding, getting used to my new job has been a breeze. I'm technically only part-time, but I still have access to a huge amount of employee benefits, and my salary ain't to be sniffed at either. You can tell what a great guy Brian is by the way he treats his employees, and I feel blessed to work for him. Despite only being part-time, he lets me work full-time hours when I need to supplement my income, so I have no trouble getting by on my own. Brian seems to see something in me, and he told me he thinks I should train up for some management qualifications. He even said I could take a course the company provides while continuing my usual job. Always looking for ways to improve myself and learn new things, I decided to take him up on his offer. And I'm currently juggling work with study and having a great time in the process. I feel extra motivated to work hard and prove myself because of how kind Brian has been to me. I want to show him how grateful I am by contributing to his company as much as I possibly can. As for Rishi, I already found a new job. To tell you the truth, I was disappointed when I found out how quickly he found work after getting fired. This might sound evil, but I was hoping he'd stay unemployed for a little longer. That said, it's not all plain sailing. I heard there are a few problems at his new workplace. I heard all this through Brian, who knows the president of Rishi's new company. Apparently, he's a vile tyrant of a man who sees his employees as nothing more than pawns to make him money. The work environment and office culture have been described by more than one employee as worse than hell, and they have the highest employee turnover rate in the industry. Looks like my ex-husband might be in for some rough times. Since it's him, all I can say is, let the rough times roll.
Hi, Beth. I'm assuming this is Beth's number. I'm Nova, Mason's sister.
Nova?
Is this you, Beth?
Yes, I'm Beth. Who told you my number?
I asked your coworker from the bar you used to work at. I'm sorry to text you so suddenly. But I was really worried about you and Blair because you both just disappeared. We were trying so hard to find you two.
It's been 5 years since we last met.
Yeah, so I thought we might never meet again. But my friend told me that she saw you at a bar nearby. So I decided to visit the bar in hopes of finding you.
I can't believe my coworker told you my number. I should have quit that job earlier.
I'm sorry, Beth. I must have looked really desperate. I think she told me your number out of sympathy.
So, what do you want from me?
Is everything okay? You and Blair disappeared after my brother passed away. I've always been worried about you two.
Nothing's okay. I've been taking care of Blair on my own without anyone's help for 5 years.
I bet it was really hard for you. We're sorry we weren't able to help you. But why did you just disappear? You even changed your phone number. Blair also changed schools, so we didn't know how to get in touch with you.
My husband passed away because of an accident. I wanted to leave the city where my husband died as soon as possible. When I see you and your family, it reminds me too much of my husband, who I'll never meet again. I wanted to ask for your aid, but I didn't have the courage to. I'm a stranger to your family now that my husband's not here.
We never thought of you as a stranger. We always planned to help you out after my brother's death.
I never knew that. But reflecting back, I should have asked for help earlier. Blair must have experienced a hard time too.
Beth, if there's anything we can do to help, feel free to ask us, okay? You can text me anytime. I forcibly got a hold of your number, but I hope you don't mind.
Do I really deserve to ask for help? I disappeared without telling any of you.
Of course, I'll be glad to help. My parents also miss you and Blair.
Then, could I ask for some financial support? I'm trying to find a new job that pays better, but I'm having some difficulty finding a good job. The inheritance I have left is barely enough to pay for Blair's education fees. I even tried to work as a prostitute during the night to earn as much money as I can, but it didn't work out.
I see. So that was why you worked at a bar.
Yes, but I didn't want to leave Blair alone in the night. I was too worried to work. I couldn't concentrate on my job. She's in the 6th grade now, so she should be capable of staying at home alone. But she's still a child.
I understand. I'll talk to my parents about providing you with some financial support. Let us help you, Beth.
Really? I think I'm asking too much from you.
Don't worry. You've been working hard enough for the past few years. We want to support you as much as we can.
Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough, Nova.
Beth, can I ask you a favor? After things calm down, can you come visit us with Blair? We all miss you both.
Of course. I'll visit you as soon as I get a job.
Thanks, Beth. My parents would love to see you again. Can you send us your bank account information? We'll make sure to send you some money as soon as possible.
Nova, are you there? Can I ask for an additional $300 next month? Blair wants a new game controller.
Hi, Beth. It's hard to ask this. But have you been able to get a good job?
I haven't been able to get any job yet. I guess it's because I have a child. They never give me the job.
I see. I can ask my friend for help if you want. She works as an advisor for people finding a new job. I think she can give you some advice.
Oh, you don't have to do that. You've done enough for me.
But I think you have to start working. It's been 4 months since we started to send you money.
What? Are you telling me that you'll stop sending me money?
No. But I think it's taking a bit too long. I know you have a preference when finding a job. But I think it's about time to actually start working.
There's nothing I can do, is there? The companies are to blame. They never accept me.
I understand, but... Do you think you can come visit us sometime soon? My parents want to meet you as soon as possible.
I want to go meet you after I get a job. I'm too embarrassed to meet your parents now. I thought we decided that I'll go visit after I get a job.
I know, but my parents are getting old. I want them to meet Blair before it's too late.
I knew they only wanted to meet their granddaughter.
No, they also want to meet you, Beth.
You don't have to lie. Oh, I get it. Are you trying to take Blair away from me?
No, that's not true at all.
I guess Blair reminds them of their son. They're planning to take Blair away from me when I take her to meet them, right?
No. They genuinely miss you both. We've been trying to find you for so long, Beth.
I don't think I can trust you.
Huh?
I don't think I can go and meet you now.
Don't say that.
Then show me some sincerity. If you continue to provide me with financial support, it shows me that you're being considerate of me. I think it's the easiest way, Nova. I can concentrate on finding a good job, and after I get a job, your parents would be able to meet me.
Okay. We'll send you an additional $300 next month.
Thanks. You are so supportive. I'll try hard so that your parents can meet Blair, alright?
Good luck, Beth.
If you ever tell me something like this again, I don't think we can keep in touch anymore. So, don't say something weird ever again, okay?
Okay. I'll be careful.
I'm glad you understand. If there's any update about my job, I'll text you again. I'm counting on you.
Hello? Is this Nova?
Yes, I'm Nova. Who is this?
Auntie, it's me, Blair. Do you remember me? Can I go visit you later today?
Blair? Huh? It's midnight, Blair. Is it really you? Your name, it says Mia.
I'm borrowing my friend's phone. I don't have a phone, but I really wanted to talk to you. Then my friend Mia lent me her phone so that I can text you.
I see. Blair, you're in 6th grade, right?
Yeah.
You've grown so much. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get in touch with you for the past 5 years. I'm really sorry. I miss you so much.
I miss you too, Auntie Nova. It's not your fault that we weren't able to see each other anyways.
Blair, we're gonna be able to meet each other as soon as your mother gets a job. Hopefully, we'll get to see each other soon.
I don't think we'll ever be able to see each other if we wait until my mom gets a job. So I borrowed my friend's phone to talk to you.
Huh?
Auntie, you're sending Mom some money, right?
Yeah? How do you know that?
Mom was happy that she found a new source of money.
Huh?
Auntie, you don't know what Mom is really like. She's not trying to find a job. She's planning to get as much money as she can from you and run away like she did 5 years ago.
I see. I knew something was going on. It's a shame that she's not finding a job.
I don't think you should send her money anymore.
Hey Blair, is Beth abusing you? Is she taking care of you properly? You told me you want to come visit us.
Mom never abused me physically. She does nothing, actually.
Nothing?
She told me that the country pays her some money because she has me. So I don't think she'll neglect me as long as she gets money. To be honest, I don't get much food from her. But I eat my school lunch every day, and my friends give me some snacks too, so I'm okay.
You've been living like this all these years?
After I became friends with Mia... Mia is the friend who lent me her phone, by the way. She's been helping me a lot.
That's nice of her.
Mia's really smart. She knows a lot of things I don't know. But I've been having a hard time recently. And I was starting to think that I didn't want to live with Mom anymore. Then I heard about you texting Mom, so I really wanted to get in touch with you.
Blair, is your mom home? From how you texted me, I'm assuming that she's not with you right now.
Yeah, she's at her boyfriend's house right now.
Okay, I'll go pick you up.
Really? Can I go to your house?
Of course. You've been a very strong girl enduring all of this. I'm here to help you now. I promise we'll protect you no matter what, Blair.
Nova, did you call me? What do you want? Did you call me to tell me that you sent money?
Beth, you can no longer do whatever you want.
What? What are you talking about?
Blair is with me now.
Blair? Why? How did you get in touch with her?
That doesn't matter. The problem is how you've been treating Blair. After my brother passed away, you haven't been preparing meals for her properly for the past 5 years. That's not what I meant. She told me you rarely bought her enough to eat. Blair spent some days eating nothing. She also said she ate molded bread out of hunger. When I met her, she was really skinny.
What's your problem? I've been taking care of her as her mother for the past few years. She won't be alive without me.
If you were really taking care of her properly, she wouldn't have asked us for help. I also visited your apartment, Beth. It was filled with trash. I don't think you've been home recently. Blair told me you usually stayed at your boyfriend's house.
I'm single, Nova. I should be allowed to go anywhere I want.
I thought you said you didn't want to leave Blair alone in the night. You've been lying to me all along, right? Blair also told me you were never finding a job. You betrayed not only me, but also my parents and my brother who passed away.
You all never offered me any support for the past 5 years, so don't meddle in my business now.
I heard the reason why you disappeared 5 years ago from Blair. You've been playing around with your boyfriend after receiving the inheritance money, haven't you? And you've been cheating on my brother with him before he passed away.
Where's your proof? Don't believe everything Blair tells you.
I trust her, Beth. There's no proof about you having an affair when my brother was still alive. But we have proof about how you've been treating Blair and what you've been thinking of us.
What proof?
You thought of us as a source of money. And you've been threatening Blair not to tell anyone about her life at home. I have the video of you threatening her.
Huh? How? Why do you have a video of me? You have to be kidding.
Blair borrowed her friend's phone, and she used it to film everything.
Uh-huh. How come she did this to me? I'm going to your house. Give me back my daughter. I have custody of her, and if you're not gonna give her back to me, I'll call the police.
You're the one who will be in trouble if we call the police. You have been neglecting her. And for your information, Blair is not at my house.
I thought you said you were with her.
She is at the Child Guidance Center near our house. Blair told us she didn't want to live with you anymore. So we're planning to go through with the official processes so that she'll be able to live with us.
Wait a minute. Did you just take her to the Child Guidance Center without my consent? Do you know how hard it is to make them return your child to you?
It's Blair's choice.
Nova, listen to me. Blair is really important to me. I've been taking care of her on my own because I loved her. After my husband passed away, I was feeling really lonely. So I needed my boyfriend who would make me feel loved. Can't you be more sympathetic?
It's really sad that my brother passed away. And I will never be able to understand how sad you felt as his wife. But your treatment towards Blair is a different story. Your sadness should not lead to child neglect.
I was trying my best, doing everything on my own.
Blair was the one trying her best. You inherited plenty of money from my brother. There was enough money for Blair to go to university even if you didn't work. But you wasted it. And look at you now. You don't even have enough money to survive. You told me you barely had enough for Blair's education fees, but that's also a lie, right?
It costs a lot of money to live with my daughter.
I doubt you've ever spent a single dollar for Blair. You inherited so much money after my brother's death, but I heard you're in debt.
Please, Nova. Blair is the only thing I have left that reminds me of my husband. I might not have been the best mother, but I loved her and took care of her in my own ways. I stayed with her because she was important to me.
She's definitely an important source of money.
No, that's not the only reason.
Shall we fight, Beth? Let's see who would be the better guardian for Blair. If you really loved her, I'm sure you'll do anything for her.
Nova, I'm really sorry. I'll pay you back the money you've been sending me as soon as I'll get the job. So please don't take Blair away from me. I promise to visit sometime so your parents can meet Blair.
Blair asked us for help. Do I have to repeat this again? I can't trust you anymore, Beth. And I thought you were the one who asked for sincerity. If you want trust, show me some sincerity. It's your turn now, Beth. We had a lot of discussions with the Child Guidance Center about Blair, and after many discussions, Blair was finally able to live with us away from her mother. Considering how Blair has been treated at home and what her friends as well as her neighbors told us about Beth, it was impossible to return Blair to her mother. I knew Blair would be better off living with us, but I'm relieved that the Child Guidance Center respected Blair's feelings. Beth has been living with her boyfriend since then, but because she had so much debt, her boyfriend eventually got tired of her and dumped her in the end. I don't know where she is now, but I think she's having a hard time paying back her debts. I have no sympathy for her because I honestly think she deserves it, but I hope she'll become a better person so that Blair won't feel embarrassed of her mother. If she can't do that, then I hope she won't come and meet Blair ever again. Blair looked very skinny when she just moved into our house. She's been steadily gaining weight and becoming healthier. She had to move schools after she moved in with us, but she's been able to keep in touch with Mia using her new phone we bought her. I almost gave up looking for Beth and Blair after 5 years passed, but I'm glad Blair remembered us and we're able to live with her now. Blair has experienced enough hardships on her own, so we're gonna support her as much as we can from now on. We will never ever make her endure any pain on her own. I think my brother is finally able to rest in peace now that we rescued Blair. We will love Blair and cherish her for the rest of our life so that she won't ever feel lonely again. Jen, I heard things are pretty difficult right now between you and my son. He's going to have to move out of state for work, and you both have been discussing that, right? And I heard that you're going to have to travel pretty far this time as well if you choose to go with him. That's right, Lisa. And this time my husband will have to go really far out of state, and so we might have to move houses closer to his work, or else he'll have to travel by car 10 hours each weekend going back and forth. I'm sorry for not telling you about this sooner. We've just been so busy with things, and the kids are growing, and so time has really flown by here. That's nothing to worry about now. You've always been talking about having to move at some point, right? It is a difficult problem for you guys to deal with. It sure is. And right now, my husband and I are having trouble finding out what we want to do about this. Oh, is that so? My husband said that he'd like all of us to move out of state with him. He thinks that by doing that, we can all find a new house together and start a new life. And, I mean, we both have been living here for a very long time, so it would be nice to go someplace new. But I'd rather stay right here with the kids in the house we have now. We have been here so long that I have connections to a lot of people, and we're very used to this town and know it's a safe place to raise our kids. But when he heard that from me, he seemed to get a little shocked. I guess he thought I'd be on board with him. Are there other reasons why you want to stay here? Well, because I don't want to have to quit my current job to move. I have worked so hard to make it as far as I have in my career, and I don't want to throw all of it away. If I move out of state as well and have to find a new job, I'll have to start at square one again. And I don't want to do that anymore because I've technically done that twice, and it's rough. I see. Well, that's very unfortunate. I know as his wife I should be there with him when he moves, but... It's not like that though, Jen. These days, women are allowed to make their own choice regarding their career. And you are Jen, and you have a life that you'd like to live the way you like. And my oldest son has just gotten into elementary school. I'd feel bad having to take him out of that school and move him to another one. He has made all sorts of friends there, and all the teachers are really special to him. I'd hate to take all of that away from him at such a young age. I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to have to make my husband move on his own. My son becomes lonely pretty easily, so I'm sure he doesn't want to leave all of you here. But I understand how you feel about all of this as well. And he's an adult now, so he has to understand everyone can make their own choices, and that he can still come back to visit you guys on holidays or vice versa. At first he was saying that if his work began to make him travel a bunch more, he'd go out and find a new one. But I think over the recent years, he's really grown into the company and isn't willing to leave them now, even though he'll have to leave the state this time. I see. I'm sure in his eyes, he's gotten used to it there and is really happy with the money he can make for everyone. We have a larger family now, and it requires more money. And so even if he has to travel more, I'm sure he thinks the money is the most important part. And recently, things have been going up in price, and taxes going up as well. So I really don't blame him for keeping that job, but I guess I just wish he could have had a normal job where he didn't have to move around so much. But the money is key, so I don't blame him for sticking to it. And soon, you'll have to worry about all 3 of your kids going to school and having to pay for that. So really, it is much better to have him stay with his current company and bring in all the money now so that you guys can relax later. And that's the same thing with me. If I have to leave my job here, we won't be making as much money as we do now. And even though our kids are young now, soon they'll be at that age where they cost a lot. So we can't afford to do anything that might decrease our income. I'm sure that the economy and having to find a new job that gives you a good salary would be tough. I've known a little while now that my son has really begun to like his job. So him having to quit that job would never go over well with him. So you understand our situation as well then? I'm sure he's not going to like moving on his own, but having his job that he loves and the raise for doing said move would help us out a lot. I can understand that as well. And so because of that, I think he'll have to be on his own for a bit. I'm sorry that we went and talked about all of this without you. I'm sure you wanted to weigh in a bit more in our talk so that you could give some options. Well, you guys are the married couple, so I shouldn't have to be here when you guys make decisions. And since this is all for the sake of keeping the family happy and stable, I'm totally fine with your guys' choice. And my son is fine with all this as well, right? I assume that he's fine with it. When I said I'd be staying here with the kids, he did seem a bit sad, but also glad to see that we'd still be focusing on the family while we're apart. Just as long as he doesn't get too lonely on his own. But having to care for your kids and work a job is going to be tough on you, right? And your youngest is still only 2 years old, right? Even if one kid is in elementary school and the other 2 are in daycare, you're still going to have your hands full all of the time. Yeah, and that's something I'd like to talk with you about. Do you think you'd be able to come over and help me every so often? Or actually, so that it's easier on you, can I have them come over to your place to be watched by you? Of course I'll help. You can leave your babies with me whenever you need to. Are you sure that's okay? I know that you might have things going on your own, so I don't want to get in the way of them. I'm living on Social Security now, and most things I plan to do can be moved around, so I have all the time in the world to do what I want. So just ask me when you need me. I'll make sure to get accommodations ready for them before they come so that they're comfortable. Thank you so much, Lisa. I knew because you were a mom yourself, you'd say you'd be alright with helping. Well then, when I come over at times, I'd love for you to take all of the kids for me. I'll have them over whenever I think I may be late from work, or they have the day off from school and daycare. And I'll make sure to call you first so that you're ready. Alright. I may be older now, but I'll do my best to entertain them all. And I'll put even more work into my job now, so that we have the money to relax later. Let's all work together to make sure the kids come out of this happy and healthy. I hope this will show my son that he has nothing to worry about while he's gone either. Jen, when are you coming by today to get your kids? It's almost 10 p.m. now, and the two youngest are sleeping already. I'm sorry, I'm still in the office trying to finish a project. Do you think you can let them all stay at your house tonight? But tomorrow, your oldest will be going back to elementary school, right? What should I do about him? That's right. You can just give him some PB&J sandwiches to take with him, so you can make those up in the morning? And maybe a fruit or something to go along with the sandwiches. But he'll have a field trip tomorrow, right? Will he be taking his backpack with him? I don't have anything like that for him here. I'd like to go to your house to grab one, but you never gave me or your kids a key yet to get into your place. Right. I'd give one to my oldest, but he always loses the key, so I gave up on that. So then we won't be able to go get him a bag from your place. I have a small leather bag, but I don't think it'd be good for him to bring that one on the trip. Well, I'm going to be here all night at the office, and I don't think I'll be leaving until tomorrow. I don't think I'll see you all again until tomorrow morning. Do you think you can go to a Walmart or something and grab him a cheap bag? Huh? Right now? You know that all Walmarts are open 24/7, right? I understand that, but I can't just leave the kids here and go out this late at night. Especially when two of them are sleeping. And having to wake those two up now would take even more time, and they'd both get grumpy. You don't have any other backpacks in your house? What my husband used years ago are still around somewhere, but those are like business backpacks for adults. Well, that'll be fine for him. Use one of those, please. Another thing, do you think for all of next week you can hang on to the kids at your place? For a whole week? I will have to go on a week-long business trip. Business trip? You've never had to go on one of those before though, right? Well, recently the company has been growing and I need to go visit another branch. And if I were to turn them down about going on the business trip, I'd risk ever being able to move up in this company. Jen, I can see that you're doing so well with focusing on your job and all, but don't you think you can start coming home a bit more often as well? Are you sure you're not working too much right now? I can't just ask the company to slow down on all the work they give me. I'm just too busy at the moment. But recently, you haven't even been home enough to see your kids for a few hours. And also, even though I'm on a pension and all now, I can't continue to spend as much as I am on everyone here. I have to pay for my own food as well, and for myself to go to the hospital for checkups. But Lisa, you said that you'd help me whenever I asked, right? And you knew that I'd be busy from the start, right? I assumed you knew all of that and still planned to help me. So why are you getting on to me about my work now? I said that I'd help you with raising them. But when it comes to helping you, I never meant doing everything to care for them. Maybe it would have just been best if you moved with your husband. Do not say something like that after all we've been through. Also, does that mean you think I should quit my job now? That's not what I'm implying. I just want you to stop making me care for the three all the time. I have had things to attend to myself, and for the past 3 months I've taken care of my grandkids without complaining to you. You don't even work anymore, Lisa, so there can't be anything important that you have to attend to now. You can handle my kids every day for all I care. I have a life of my own as well, Jen. I just thought that you having to take care of all of them on your own would be tough for you, and so that's why I wanted to lend you a hand. But what's going on now is way different than what I expected. If you keep forcing me to take them every day like this, then I don't think I'll be able to take care of them anymore. What is your problem? It's because of me giving them to you that you get to spend all the time in the world with your little grandkids. If anything, you should be thanking me for all of this. Why should I be the one thanking you? You want to be with your grandkids, right? And so, I'm making sure you can see them all the time. So please thank me for that. Don't you think you're being a bit irrational right now? So are you saying you won't care for them for me? Well, if that's the case, then I won't be able to handle things anymore. I'd say you're bullying me. Why would that be me bullying you? You're trying to take away my precious time to get the work done. And that right there is you harassing me. So that would make you an old bully. That way of thinking is a bit messed up. I'm working this job for my family. But for a long time, you had never been working as much as you do now. For some reason, ever since my son had to leave the state for work, you have become more and more busy with your job. And your job requires you to be in your office at all times, right? So why would you need to be going on any business trips? Shut up! Stop trying to talk about my job like you understand it at all. You haven't had a job in years, so how would you even know what today's world of working is like? Now stop talking to me about all of that. Right. I understand. I won't say anything more. I think you're beginning to get tired from being around my kids a lot, huh? I'll come by tomorrow to grab my kids and go home, so don't worry about it. My business trip is over, but it won't be until really late tonight that I get home, so can the kids stay over for one more night? I'll make sure to come get them tomorrow morning. Don't worry about it, Jen. You don't have to come here anymore. Huh? What do you mean by that? What is going to happen with my kids then? I'll be taking care of my grandkids for a while longer now, so you don't have to come. Are you saying that you'll be holding on to my kids for good and raising them? That's not what this means. I'm saying that I'll be taking your custody over them away. What? What are you saying, Lisa? Have you gone a bit mad after all that time with them? You had always been forcing me to take care of them for you. And I can see that you no longer care to raise these kids. So, I'll be taking your custody of them away. Wait, what are you going on about now? I have no idea what this is. I'm being serious right now. Ever since my son had to move out for work, you have been acting a lot more strange and doing things that don't make any sense to me. And I made sure to tell my son about what's been happening to you. What about me is so strange? You were always away from home now, and that's not right for you. And the fact that right after your husband left, you began to stay at work longer and have to go on business trips. That's pretty strange to anyone, you might ask. And after talking to my son, he agrees that something's up with you. We are beginning to grow skeptical of you. You told my husband? Wait, why are you being skeptical of me? I told you that I'm busy with work, didn't I? Well, my son, he asked one of his friends that lives here to do something. He wanted him to follow you and check up on what you were doing. What? What the hell was he thinking? He has a friend that works as a detective, Jen. And so, that guy made sure to look a bit deeper into you for us. A bit deeper? You haven't been working your job at all recently. You said that you had a lot of work to get done and would have to stay late and overnight, but every night you went out to play. Going to fancy restaurants, drinking until the sun rose, going to male strip clubs. You really have been enjoying yourself a lot, haven't you? You're wrong. I've been working this whole time. He was able to get pictures of you, though. And all that money you have been making has gone right back into your nightlife. And the money that your husband has been working so hard for has found its way into your pockets as well. I will say that every once in a while I'd go out to have a little fun, but I wasn't going out enough to where you can blame me for anything. The reason you didn't want to move out of state with your husband was because you have a man here that you wanted to be with. You're wrong. Your husband and I already know everything, Jen. Everything you hid from us has been exposed. Everything? You have one more secret, right? Something that you don't want anyone knowing about. How much do you know about me? Stop holding it back from me and just say what you want to say. I have someone that I need to talk with right now, so I'll text you later. Don't stop right now. One other thing. I'm with my son right now. Huh? He came back already? He had to come back to talk with a lawyer about some things. He has to make sure that he'll be the one to get all 3 kids. Why would he be going to a lawyer right now, though? You know why, Jen. You should know what we plan to do about that as well. Lisa! Stop trying to ignore me. I'll tell you everything, okay? Tell me everything about what? About the things you had been accusing me of. I had been going out with other men. And not just that, but we had all been doing a lot of sexual things as well. Really? Then this is you confessing that you did in fact cheat on my son. It is. Every night I'd go out with different men on the town, and the 2 of us would have fun together. And so you saying that you were busy with work was all a lie. Actually, I was only working about 3 days a week, and for only 6 hours each day. I quit my job as a full-time worker and went part-time there. And I was never trying to move up in the company. And so what is the real reason for you asking my son to move out of the house alone? So that I could go out with other men and have sex. And since he was making enough money and handing it to me, I thought that I could use it to have all the fun I wanted. My gosh. And to think that I took you for a mother that actually cared about her husband and family enough to let him leave for a while for a better future. It's the whole reason I gave up my time to help you raise your kids. But I guess I've been stabbed in the back now. I'm so sorry for all that I've done. I'm sure that if you would have just took a few days to be home for your kids, I would have never known about you going out at night. You really did take advantage of your situation a little too much. You just said a while ago that you had met with a lawyer, right? What did you guys talk about? About divorce, and about a settlement, and about custody of the kids. I came out about all of this. So, do you think that you can make the settlement a little less expensive for me? Oh, you telling us the truth has nothing to do with the settlement. Even if you didn't tell us the truth, we already knew everything. But I don't have any money. Don't apologize, Jen. We can't trust you as an adult or a mother, so my son will be the one paying for the kids, so you don't have to. But you will have to take full responsibility for all of this. We will make sure that you have enough pay for the settlement, and then we'll leave you alone forever. So you guys are going to take away my rights to my kids? You don't have the will to raise them, nor the money to. So you have no right to those 3. If you were to continue to be their mother, they may end up living a life in poverty. Cannot say that about me. Oh, but I can. It's the truth after all. Really, I want to make sure that you never have anything to do with us ever again. But I am an adult, and so I have to wait and see what my son decides. And I have had to deal with a lot of things as well. After having to work and having to care for the kids, I have no time of my own. And when it comes to cheating, everyone has at least tried it once. I'm sure even you have had another man at you at one point while you were with your husband, right? Why would I want another man when I had the love of my life? I'm not some kind of whore like you are. Don't you dare compare me to you ever again. Whore? You stabbed everyone in my family in the back, and I'll never forgive you for that. This time, it'll only be you growing lonely, while everyone else moves away. After that, my son and his wife got a divorce. It was tough for the both of them to go through with it, but my son could no longer look Jen in the face for what she'd done to him and the kids. Jen was calm about things in the end, and actually told me that I had every right to be upset with her, and I was very much indeed. After going through all of the evidence, we learned she spent upwards of around $10,000 in those 3 months, and had slept with at least 6 different guys. And what made things ultimately worse for my son to bear was that she had been with one of them for almost a year, meaning she had been with him while my son was still at home with her. Luckily, though, this was the end of him having to look at her, and so hopefully he'll be able to move on from what she'd done. To make sure that he was around his kids often, my son changed jobs to ones that didn't require him to move around. And so, right now, he's at home living with me and his 3 kids. He did end up reducing his salary a bit with the choice, but being here with me will help reduce the amount he spends. We split the cost of utilities here, and I pay for myself when it comes to food and such. And although I may be on a pension and everything now, I do have a bit in my savings, and I plan to use it for my son and grandkids so that they don't feel too stressed by what happened. And my son does his best to not make me take care of the kids all the time, and I'm sure that soon he'll grow into one of the best single fathers known to man. It may be a bit tough for a while having 3 young kids running around, but we will do our very best to make sure they all live happy lives. As for Jen, we were able to get a settlement from her. Although it wasn't much, but even that was enough to make her hurt for a long time. She didn't have anything left to afford her house, and after having to jump around a lot, I'm sure she's ended up somewhere we'll never have to hear about. If anything, she has all those men she slept with around still, and maybe she'll find one of them stupid enough to let her into their life. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey Sam, I was just curious if you were ready to arrive home or not.
Oh, Luna. No, not yet, sorry. But I am on the way home right now. Is everything okay with you?
Right. I was just asking because I'm going to be getting home a little late today.
Oh, really? Are you still at work right now? What time do you think you're going to get off?
I think I'll have to be here at least another hour, it seems.
I see. Maybe we could just go out for dinner tonight then. I feel like we haven't gotten to do that in forever. I'm just kind of killing time around your office right now.
I'm really sorry to do this, but I've just been working so much overtime, and I don't know if I feel like eating out. I'd probably rather just eat at the house. That is, if I can even get out of here in the next hour.
Oh, I see. Well, that's okay. I'll prepare something. No problem.
Thank you so much, Sam. I really appreciate it. I feel bad, though. I haven't been giving you too much of the housework to take care of, have I?
You haven't been doing anything of the sort at all, Luna. I know it's the peak season for your company and that everyone is really busy over there. And I know that I've asked you to do the same for me when I've been really busy with work too. Anyways, just let me know if there's anything specific that you want for dinner. I'm more than happy to take requests.
Well, since you're offering, I would love some kind of nice pasta dish. Does that sound okay to you?
If you want pasta, then pasta it shall be. Oh, and one other thing. I'll have to drop the car off at the shop pretty soon here, so would you mind commuting by bus for a few days?
Oh, right. I forgot that you were going to do that. Yeah, that should be fine. I'll be sure to just leave the car in the driveway tomorrow morning then.
No problem at all. I appreciate you doing that for me.
And thank you so much for always remembering stuff like that. I would have no idea when to take in a car or anything like that. I'm just really glad to have you. You're always doing so much to help out. I really just don't know where I'd be at all without you, Sam.
Yeah, I guess I might just be a little bit better at the hands-on kind of stuff. You even asked me to build all that furniture that we got from IKEA, remember?
I tried looking at those instruction booklets, but I just didn't understand at all.
Which is kind of ironic since your job is designing your pamphlets for companies that hire your services, right?
Yeah, that is true. but we have so many templates here that a lot of my work is more like filling in the blanks than real design work. Anyway, do you know how long the car is going to be in the shop for?
I'm thinking it should take 3 days at the most, and then everything should be fine. You're not in a rush to get it back, though, are you? If you really are, maybe we can look into renting a car? Or I can pay the people at the shop a little extra to work faster?
No, nothing like that. I guess I was just so used to taking the car to work that I've forgotten what it's like to go by bus, and I'm a bit nervous.
Ah, gotcha. I'm sure it'll be fine, but yeah, no one likes being stuck on a crowded bus or dealing with confusing schedules.
But you're lucky because at least your work is right next to the subway stop. If anything, it would be more of a hassle for you to drive to work than it would be to take transit.
Well, my office does have a parking lot, but all the rest of my coworkers all drive, and I've seen my supervisor asking for rides home more than once, so I figured better to not take the car.
Well, that's one way to get out of having to deal with him, I suppose. But I get people asking me to give them rides back home from time to time.
Oh, really? I don't know that you've ever told me that.
I'm sure that I have. You remember that one time you found a cigarette butt in the car, right?
Oh yeah, I guess I do. Is that what that was about?
I still feel really bad for letting that happen. But it was my boss asking me for a ride. So I felt like I couldn't say no when he asked if he could smoke in the car.
Right, I remember you talking to me about all of that. You know, you can always blame things on me for trying to get out of an awkward situation. You can just say that your husband is really strict and you don't have time to be dropping people off, or else I'll get mad.
I'll remember that, but thankfully he hasn't been asking for rides very often lately. It's only every now and then that I end up driving my boss home.
I see. Well, as long as you're okay with it, I am too. Speaking of, I hope the rest of your work goes by quickly. Get home safe.
Hey Luna, I was just wondering if you're up already.
Of course I am. I'm in the hospital. All the nurses wake us up at the same time to serve us our breakfasts, which I've already eaten.
Oh, I see. Well, good morning. I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking of going to the hospital today to see you. Did you want me to bring you anything?
I would really appreciate some changes of pajamas. And maybe a new bath towel. What else? There were other things I was wanting, but I can't think of anything right now. Do you think you could bring some of the documents that the hospital sent you home with for me to look at?
Yeah, sure, I could do that. You weren't conscious that whole time after all. It's okay to ease into things slowly.
You really don't need to worry about me. I'm the one who should be sorry. Can't believe this happened.
You don't have anything to apologize for, Luna. You were hit by some idiot who wasn't looking at the traffic lights. You were stopped and doing what you should have been. It was the other driver who was at fault.
I guess you're right, but I'm still so nervous. I mean, I was giving my boss a ride home when the accident happened, and I've heard that he's still unconscious.
That is true, but you really can't be blaming yourself for that, Luna. You did all that you could have, and that's all that matters.
But Sam, I can't move my legs. How am I supposed to live the rest of my life like this?
It'll be okay. At least you have use of your arms. Besides, the doctors think that with some physical training you could regain full movement again. You know, my dad had a stroke and thought he was going to be paralyzed, but now he's just fine.
I know, but your dad's stroke wasn't as bad as the accident that I was in.
That is true, but either way, the doctors seem confident that you're going to be just fine. So I think that we should listen to them.
I'm sorry, but I just can't share the optimism that you have, Sam. I just don't know what to do.
I understand, Luna, but I want you to know that no matter what happens, I'll be here for you. You just focus on resting and let me know if there's anything at all that I can do for you.
Thank you so much, Sam. I just hope that you remember to take care of yourself as well. Have you been getting enough sleep lately? I got a call from my mom, and she said that you were by my side the whole time until I woke up.
I'm fine. Don't you worry. I talked to my boss and he gave me the week off. I was just so overjoyed when you opened your eyes.
Sam, thank you. I don't know what else to say, but thank you so much. I'm so sorry for putting you through all this.
Luna, you really don't have anything to be sorry about at all. I know that the physical therapy is going to be tough, but you can do it. Your whole family and I are going to be there with you the whole time.
Okay, thanks again. I promise to do my best. I don't want to become a burden on everyone else, so I have to try my best.
You're not going to be a burden for anyone ever, Luna. But for now, you should just concentrate on feeling better. That's what will be best for everyone.
Sam, I just heard the news. Is it true that you're really going to try and divorce my poor little girl?
Hello, Regina. Yes, I'm afraid that what you've heard is true. I want to divorce Luna.
I don't believe this. I never once thought that you were that kind of person. You do realize that my daughter, your wife, has been in a terrible traffic accident, don't you? She might even end up unable to walk again, and you're going to leave her while she's still like this? It's unbelievable.
Regina, do you know how it was that Luna ended up in that car accident?
What are you talking about? Some idiot driver smashed into her while she was driving. What are you trying to say about the accident?
I'm trying to tell you that I'm not leaving Luna because she's in the hospital. I'm leaving her because she was cheating on me, and her affair led the accident that landed her in the hospital.
Excuse me? You think that my daughter was cheating on you?
That's correct, Regina.
My daughter was only giving her boss a ride home.
She was giving her boss a very different kind of ride before that, I'm afraid.
I don't believe this.
In fact, the driver of that car that slammed into Luna also recently regained consciousness and was able to talk to the police. And while it was true that the driver ignored the traffic light ahead of him, it was because my wife in the car across from him had her top completely off.
You have got to be kidding me.
And according to this other driver, he could see everything. He said that he got into the accident because his eyes were drawn off the road and into the car Luna and her boss were in. Nobody leaves this story looking good, in my honest opinion.
So then, my daughter was really having an affair behind your back.
It appears that way, yes. In fact, I was able to confirm all of this when the police gave me the footage they managed to recover from the internal camera. They were able to find at least 3 instances of those two hooking up in my car.
And so that's why you stopped going to check on Luna in the hospital, isn't it? You don't want to look after my daughter anymore after what she did to you.
I understand that this is a lot to take in all at once. And I'm sorry for making up my mind without telling you why, but now you know.
No, I'm the one who should be sorry. Now that I know the truth, I'm just furious. You must be furious.
No, I'm not really. I don't really feel anything when I look at Luna, to be honest. And when I gave her the divorce papers, I merely handed them to her and walked out of her room in the hospital.
Well, did you hear that her boss also recently just woke back up?
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that, actually.
Well, apparently he can only move his face. And Luna says that she doesn't have anything to say to him.
Oh, Regina, I'm really sorry that you had to be sucked into the middle of all of this. But I also hope that you can understand that it's difficult for me to be there for Luna right now.
No. Of course your actions make sense now. My daughter completely betrayed you in the trust you gave her. I wish she had never, ever cheated on you. Anyway, just know that you have my full support in whatever it is that you choose to do from here on out. And if there's any way I can help you, please let me know. I also want you to know that you have nothing to apologize for and that this is all Luna's fault. I'll tell her to sign those papers without putting up a fuss.
Sam, I'm so sorry. Please come and visit me here at the hospital. I really just want to talk to you one last time. We can't just leave things like this.
I'm sorry, Luna, but I'm not going to visit you again. I've made up my mind.
I know that I was an idiot, that I was my boss. I couldn't just say no to him. Don't you realize how hard it would have made work at life? I promise there was nothing real between him and I at all.
Well, in that case, I have one thing that I want to talk to you about. Was I such a bad husband that you felt you couldn't come to me about this?
I just didn't want you to worry about me at all.
If your boss was really forcing you to have sexual relations with him, then that's a huge problem. You would have been in the right to say to him, even if it meant quitting your job. I would have stood by you the whole time and helped take care of you while you looked for a new job.
But aside from my boss, I really love that job, and I didn't want to leave it at all.
Well, I'm sorry, but I just can't accept that you didn't enjoy having the affair with your boss. After all, his wife reached out to me and showed me all the messages that you and him shared with each other.
Wait a second. You mean that his wife knows now?
That's right. She talked to your mom and then me when she showed the evidence. Not to mention, the fact that the person who hit you woke up and said that he crashed into your car because he was distracted by you not wearing a shirt in yours.
Sam, I'm so sorry for this. I'm sorry for everything.
You're not sorry for me. You're only sorry that you were caught. Or did you think that your boss would never wake up, and that you'd never have anyone else to speak out against you? Because your boss also woke up, and he confessed to everything to his wife.
Maybe I did let things go just a little too far with all of this.
Too far? It seemed to me like you were enjoying plenty of what was happening according to your messages.
I swear that I was only trying to say things that I thought he would like.
Except there were times when you were the one asking when he could meet up with you. You liked having this illicit affair with your boss. Just admit it.
I'm so sorry, Sam.
Well, this isn't something you're going to get out of with just mere apologies. Did you think you wouldn't be caught if you kept your affair to the inside of my car?
No, it really isn't like that at all. You have to listen to me.
Well, it's a good thing that I had the drive cam replaced when I took the car into the shop. If I didn't, there might not have been any proof of what you did. The whole reason I got the cameras installed was because I was worried about you driving since you're always talking about not knowing enough about cars.
Sam, I swear this is never, ever going to happen again.
I know it won't. Because your body won't ever let something like that happen again.
Please don't say things like that to me, Sam. I knew that you're going to get sick of having to look after me.
It isn't that at all. I was ready to be by your side no matter what. I was so sure that this accident wasn't your fault. But you were the whole reason that it happened.
Well, it was night and figured that no one would be looking inside the car. Besides, how can you blame me when the other person should have had their eyes on the road?
You shouldn't have been cheating on me in the first place. What if you just went right home like you were supposed to instead?
But I don't think that's fair.
Do you have any idea how disgusted I felt when I watched that recording footage that the police managed to salvage from the crash? I was still willing to be by your side up until I watched that. That was easily, without a doubt, the worst day of my entire life.
And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. That's just awful. But how am I supposed to live without you by my side, Sam?
Why do you think I'll help you after this? Why don't you just go to your boss and ask him for help? Or what about your parents?
Even my mom said that she never wants to see me again after I get out of the hospital. I don't have anyone left.
And just how do you think your parents feel after they learn the truth about what kind of person you are? You ought to be grateful that they've been by your side this long.
But the accident wasn't even my fault. You said so yourself, remember? You said that I didn't do anything wrong.
And the other driver is the one taking responsibility for the crash. Neither your mom nor I blame you for the crash. But we also realize the fact that you were in the middle of cheating when it happened. You've been lying to me about having to work overtime this whole time, haven't you? Well, now I don't want to ever see you again.
I'm so sorry, Sam. I don't know what else to say.
The worst part is that I had no idea before this. You got so good at lying to me about all of it that I never even noticed.
Please don't leave me behind, Sam. I promise to never betray you like this again. I promise to try my hardest at physical therapy and be a good wife to you.
And just why do you think that I'll ever want to take you back again?
Well, don't you still love me? I thought you said that you're always going to be by my side. Or were those just lies?
Are you really going to try and talk to me about lying right now? You're in the mess that you're in right now because you were lying to me!
I don't know how I'm supposed to go on without you in my life, Sam. Even after I leave the hospital, I'll be all alone. Please don't divorce me. I need you, Sam.
Why not just get together with your boss?
What do you mean?
Well, I heard that his wife also wants nothing to do with him anymore, and that the two of them are also getting a divorce as well. Although she is going to be suing you for your role in this affair, of course. But anyways, your boss is soon to be single, and you two should just get together.
No way! I don't want that! You're the one I want to be with, Sam! You're the only thing in this world that makes me truly happy!
I can't believe that there was ever a time in my life where I really thought that was true. Luna was dragging her feet signing the divorce papers until her parents told her that they would never ever talk to her again if they didn't sign them. Finally, she agreed to, in the hopes of maintaining some connection with her parents. Although after being sued by me and her boss's wife, she had very little left to her name. As for me, I'm just happy to rid myself of the whole situation. I even put in a request to transfer with my job so I could leave this whole town behind. Luckily, Luna and I didn't have any children together, so it made the whole process of moving my life much easier.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.